Diving to me is it's like a sense of freedom. Nobody forces me, nobody pushing me. I choose to do it.
My grandfather would refer to it as like the last place that God made, as far west as you can go in the country. The last sunset in Europe in the millennium was over Jersey Island, you know. What better view can you ask for?
aller viktigste med drifting, det er dekka. Det er eneste vi har som binder bilen til asfalten. Og akkurat som i all annen racing, så er dekka det som avgjør en seier eller en fiasko. Så da vi gikk til Kenda i år, så var det etter flere år med undersøkelser, med tester, med en vurdering av ikke bare hvor Kenda var da, hvor de er på vei. Det har spilt seg ut ganske bra, kan du si, hittil i sesongen.
Check this out.
Okay.
I look good.
Okay. On the street and I got my swag on. Okay. Get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay. Triple back.
King of legacy, too ruthless, too transcend.
Right, so hello and welcome back here to round 3 of the Irish Race Series 2026. We're here, we're up in Down in Bishopscourt, Diff and Drift, Northern Ireland's home of drifting. What an iconic morning we've had so far, Mike, with some incredible runs, some drama, some crashes, as well as some very fine line, persistent and so fluent runs we've seen from some people, especially young Jack Mulvihill, who has topped qualifying with an incredible score today of 97.3, if I'm correct, someone saying?
Yeah, really, well, 95 point something.
95,
yeah.
my apologies.
Yeah, absolutely stacked grid here, guys. Pro2 action in Northern Ireland here at round 3 of the Irish Drift Series, and it's always a good one. It's always a mixed match of machinery and experience levels, etc. So there's always, I suppose, drama is what I tried to say in Pro2 competition, and it's always entertaining. Throws up some thrills and spills. I think this track is a little bit new to everybody. The entry is new to everybody, especially into this track. So it's going to be a good one. And yeah, we're going to get, of course, the grid stacked right now, and we will be seeing who will come out on top here, and we'll be bringing through, I will confirm how many, but we will be bringing through some of these drivers for Pro Action tomorrow.
That is for sure, Mike. And as we speak about battle action right now, if you're only just tuning in to us and seeing this for the first time today, or maybe it's your first time ever seeing drifting competition ever, the way it works is this morning each driver had 2 non-consecutive runs of qualifying where they had to hit an ideal line fulfilling zones and clip points that the judges have set out on this uniquely designed track, purpose built for drifting here on this ex-World War II airstrip. And the way that works, the top 32 drivers out of all that of their scores will be facing against each other. So it doesn't work in the case of first against second or third against fourth. It actually works in first takes on 30 seconds. So this gives the drivers the initiative to want to score high, because theoretically they'll get an easier battle coming up against someone that scored less than them. So as we can see here on the sheet in front of us, just name out a few battles. Our top qualifier, Jack Mulvihill, our number 1, will be taking on Cotton O'Grady, who is in 32nd place, and so on as well. To be meeting in the middle of the bracket, where the likes of Niall Looney and Owen Foran will meet 11th and 22nd, or 15th, 16th, so on. That'll be taken against each other. And we're about to kick off straight into that battle action now, as we can see our first battle of today, warming up their tyres just under the Red Bull ring at our start line.
Absolutely, guys, and if you have joined us watching drifting for the first time, this is a semi-pro or Pro2 battle action, and of course we will have 2 runs each driver gets a chance to lead once and chase once, and the higher qualifier will always lead an Irish competition, the advantage being that they will know how hard to chase on their second run based on how good their opponent has done on the first one in the chase position. We'll swap them around then. Lead will become chase. It's the lead driver's job to run the perfect qualifying line. The chase driver's job to mimic them as closely as possible with as much proximity on their door, on their quarter panel, on their wheel as possible. And over the course of the 2 runs, we will be explaining to you, with the aid of the judges, who goes through. And our highest qualifier, Jack Mulvihill, takes on our lowest qualifier, Cathal O'Grady, leading us in.
That is for sure. Jack Mulvihill, the highest qualifier, leading us in going through zones 1 and 2, absolutely flawlessly after we've seen him through qualifying, putting down pristine runs. But unfortunately, Cathal O'Grady completely straining before zone 3, and Jack Mulvihill taking the opportunity to gain that proximity away from him in chase position. Jack Mulvihill doing fluent work, as we always see and expect of him at this point. Hitting every zone exactly the way it's meant to be done, and Cathal O'Grady doing everything he can to close that proximity after the mistake at zone 3 straightening up. That kind of leads it into a way here, Michael, where we can speak about how this is judged. So not officially, but the way we always say it is scored in the 5-5 system. So right now we may be saying things are going towards more Jack, which could be a 7-3 towards him. You know, even out which way you want to play it. But that's basically how it works. And our judges, our 3 judges who we haven't actually introduced since we came back, Kieran Hines, our head judge, as well as Thomas Falvey and Tom Murphy, will be making the final decision on this. So we can see both drivers now back up for the second of their consecutive runs. Switching places now, Cathal O'Grady will be leading us in the lower qualifier, chased down by Jack Mulvihill. We can see a huge gap of proximity already opening up here. I'm not too sure if Cathal O'Grady jumped the line any bit. Jack Mulvihill is doing everything he can to try to close that proximity, or is there just a massive pace gap? This is the part though where Jack can close that gap, because that's a D-cell zone. Jack comes out to that as an opportunity to make a huge dive up on the number. Cathal O'Grady is not letting him do so as he pushes away and puts down a very nice lead run, in fact, making no mistakes. But look at this Jack Mulvihill, the aggression of him, the young man, only 16 years of age, making his way up from County Kerry. Right to the back bumper on the last transition.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just watch the start line again here. As you said in the first one there, Cathal very, very, very straight on the first one for quite a while. That'll be a huge deduction from the judges. Jack Mulvihill getting caught out a little bit on initiation there. Let's just see if we see a replay of that, just to see what happened. But I think overall, you know, the mistake from Cathal there was really significant. Judges just having a look back on it here. They are over to our left hand side here, and they have the option of multiple replays, of course. We will be watching in real life here, Adam, and on the live stream as well. That is for sure. We can see young Jack Mulvihill out of the car there, anxious, determined to hear what the decision is from the judges, and joined by Cathal O'Grady. If you are up by them, do give them a round of applause. Cheer them on for these lads putting their heart and soul into this motorsport that we all love. Yeah, absolutely, and you can see the lads here having the laugh and enjoying the moment as the judges still have a look at this one on the start line there, because Jack definitely getting caught a little bit out, not quite having the jump there on Cathal O'Grady. So mistake from Cathal on the first one, but a big gap on the second one on initiation. But we do have a score dropping in, I think, from the judges at this stage, and the winner is indeed Jack Mulvihill. The highest qualifier of the day goes on to book his place in the top 16, so he's our first driver to go through to the top 16 from battle action here. Just a little bit too much of a mistake, I think, there from Cathal on the first run, but nonetheless, as you said, Adam, a really good lead run there from the Galway man. But overall, the mistake there from him in the chase position on the first run was a big one. And as we said just before the runs there, that the advantage being the higher qualifier gets the lead first. He knows how hard he has to chase, and Jack Mulvihill knew there he didn't have to push it very hard because there was a huge mistake from his opponent in the first run. And that's the advantage. Now we move it along to our second battle. It is the closest one on paper. It's 16th position qualifier, Ronan Doherty leading in young Jamie Hines.
It sure is. Just missed that man. Michael is looking down at our sheet there. But Jamie Hines in chase position, huge determination from this young guy to show his talent for Ronan Doherty. A bit shallow on zone 3, not hitting it exactly where it needs to be. You can see the front bumper of Jamie Hines' car just dangling off after that really close initiation there as they come across now to our final zone. Rowan Doherty still very shallow on these zones, and Jamie Hines right there with him.
Yeah, contact on the first corner there. I don't think it's going to be a run-defining moment or anything because it didn't very much upset either one of the drivers. But nonetheless, good to see such tight and committed action from both drivers already in the top 32 in Pro 2 action. Of course, Jamie Hines is one of these guys. He will be gunning hard for a high championship finish to gain his pro license for next year. If I know him and Tommy and the gang, they'll be looking for that. And young Jamie Hines is now going to be our lead driver. Unusual to see Jamie as the lower qualifier in battles, but not the greatest qualifying session from him.
That is for sure, Mike. We see him time and time again really showing his ability, basically. Being only 17 years of age now. And coming into this championship, I remember his first ever day actually drifting on the track. Was down in Kerry, and I was there. I got the opportunity to see it. He went out in the 350Z, getting coached by one of our judges, actually, Tom, when they used to do coaching back down there. And Jamie, since then, has absolutely blown my mind.
Yeah,
since the first time he was ever competing, he just went out there, no fear at all.
I remember Tom telling me about him that this young fella from Galway is good, and he's got it. Like, yeah, so it is to be. Because he is here in looking at his pro licensing competition, but Ronan Doherty is looking okay there in the lead, and we're ready to rock with the second half of this battle.
We sure are, as Jamie Hines leads us in, chased down by Ronan Doherty, and he's right there with him. Jamie Hines hitting all the zones exactly where he needs to be, and Ronan Doherty not letting proximity open up too far. Ooh, contact there, I think, just halfway through zone 3. Ronan Doherty nearly shutting it down now, basically shutting it down. Leaving proximity open up after that bit of contact, and Jamie Hines not letting it affect him, getting on and finishing out the rest of his run, putting out a very solid lead run as well. That bit of contact there on zone 3, was it Ronan Doherty getting a bit too ambitious, or did Jamie Hines slow down where he shouldn't be slowing?
Yeah, we'll watch here now. Jamie just rubs off the wall a small bit, and yeah, I mean, Jamie does shut it down. Yeah, Jamie definitely looks like with the contact with the wall there, did he miss a change down or something possibly? I'm not sure, but Jamie Hines pretty much stopped the car in the middle of zone 3, leaving Ronan Doherty nowhere to go. So that could be the run-defining moment that the judges are looking for to make the call here. So a big mistake there in the lead position from Jamie Hines, just after a really nice wall rub. We'll have to see what the judges make of that one. And indeed, the winner is Ronan Doherty, guys, books his place in the top 16. Young Jamie bows out of competition early, but remember here, guys, we are running a system this year that your top 5 finishes out of the 6 rounds count. So Jamie Hines can drop a round, and you know, it's not the end of the world for Jamie Hines if he does not have a great finish in this round, because your best other 5 finishes will be the ones which count towards your championship. So we move it down to the line after disappointment for the young Galway man, and it is none other than Bartek Blazhetski to face off against Glyn McQuillan. It is 8th place qualifier to lead us in the former Bartek versus Glyn McQuillan in the much higher powered Nissan. Now Bartek leads us in a perfect lead line. That's exactly what the judges want to see from the lead driver. They want to see the perfect lead line to make it easy for the chase car to get on the door. Glyn McQuillan not capitalising quite a lot here. He's struggling here, Adam, to make the faster Nissan maintain drift behind the slower BMW.
That is for sure, Mike. You can see him taking the inside line there through zone 3 to try and keep on it as much as he can. Definitely a lot of left foot braking there to try and manage the pace difference between these two cars. But one thing I will say about Bartek Blazhetski is we always see him coming up against faster cars and being able to manage that. So despite him having the lower horsepower, I think he might make this work when he switches things around. And unfortunately, Glenn McKillen might be taking the lower end on this, not being able to manage the slower car.
Yeah, well, you know, Blazhetski definitely has the slower car here. I think we're going to see McKillen pull away from him a little bit. But if you watch throughout the course of the run here, McKillen was pretty much in the wrong part of the track for quite a lot of it. He's missing the zones. He's not mimicking the lead car. He's just struggling with the faster Nissan, and that's where experience comes in. Whether you want to let the lead car have a little bit of a gap on initiation to give yourself a bit of grace to set yourself up for the dive, or whether you actually want to slow your car down a little bit for the battle in order to make it a little bit more drivable, which is against what we learn what to do as drivers. But you know, sometimes you've got to do it if there's a significant difference in pace. So they leave the line and McKillen leads us in.
He sure does, Mike. Will the pace help him out here in this situation, or is Blazhetski going to be able to deal with it? Looks like he's dealing with it well so far, Mike. And that was kind of the main opportunity there for Glenn to get away. But looks like Glenn's gone really wide. They're dropping tyres. I think he might have made contact with the tyre wall there as well. But Bartek's playing it safe in the chase position. Missing zone 4 there though for Bartek, but Glenn McKinnon hitting every zone as much as he can, right out to the outer edge as well, trying to get all things leading towards him, but Bartek's just not letting that happen. He's putting the pressure on.
Yeah, great shots there from Colin, our drone operator, following the car so closely, giving us a bird's eye view, pardon the pun, of proceedings. And you have to think, you know, it might be easy enough call for the judges here as well. Bartek in the lower powered car, the higher qualifier though here, just had more consistency over the course of the 2 runs, and Glenn unfortunately with a lot of mistakes in the chase. And yeah, so it is. Bartek Lejewski moves on, guys, to the top 16. Glenn McKillen with the higher horsepower unfortunately bowing out. 18 versus 19 years of age as well, that battle worth noting, Adam. You know, an all teenage battle there, crazy stuff here in IDS.
Incredible stuff now as we can go back to the line and we see Justin Murphy taking on Radon Burkett. So it's BMW on BMW. This is going to be quite an interesting battle now. The man that's leading the Pro2 championship at the moment, Justin Murphy, is leading us in chase down by our own Radon Burkett in his BMW E46. Prefers the rain, not the most fastest car, and I think we've completely lost Rad there in the tire smoke from Justin Murphy. Justin Murphy absolutely takes it away now. All the pace in the world, well able, a pro level car, so it is that he's driving. Lots of power, getting right in there now for zone 5. He knows he has it in the bag, and Rad is right there, just trying to close that proximity as much as he can and not be left in the dust.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Murphy with definitely the more grip here. Did miss zone 2, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just maybe skirted on the edge of it. Now Red Dunn got caught in the tire smoke a little bit, didn't lose drift or anything, did a good job to maintain drift in the tire smoke in the cloud, but sacrificed all the zones here. And this is what you tend to see with JZ power versus, you know, the naturally aspirated BMW power of Red Don Burkett. And right now we're going to have to see if Justin Murphy, I think he can do this because he's a great chase driver, but we saw Glenn McKillen struggle in the last one with a faster car against the slower lead car. If Justin Murphy now can hang back here, not go too hot on initiation. Justin Murphy actually only has one gear and it's up to 11, to be honest, but he's doing the intelligent thing here. Let's see what he can do.
Intelligent thing, I'm not too sure. Justin Murphy always pushes hard. Is he going to do so here? Is he going to play it safe? Radon Burkett is not letting the pressure get to him with that fast BMW E36 right behind him. He's trying to fill every zone and put it down a great line, and he is doing that exactly as he should. Very much a huge missing zone 6 there. Huge pat in the back there for Radon Burkett, really showing his abilities. Maybe just the power in the car differences here really.
Yeah, I think this is a machinery difference, to be honest, Adam. It's been, you know, quite a simple afternoon so far for the judges, and we're banging out the battles very quickly here at round 3 of IDS in Pro 2. I keep calling it semi-pro because I'm old school, but it is Justin Murphy, guys, gets the win. Rad Don Burkett, one of the characters of Irish drifting, losing out there, and I think he was just out-carred.
I think so, Michael. We'll see him down track again tomorrow. Maybe not driving, but maybe giving out some passenger spins.
Giving out free t-shirts.
Yeah, he loves doing that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you see Rad, he just comes around to give out stuff.
Entertaining guy. As we go back to the line under the Red Bull ring here, and under it is an interesting one here. It's 4th place qualifier, local man Peter Malloy, to take on 29th place qualifier, way up there in the championship though, is David Ford, the Galway man.
That's for sure. Big farm of ponies here. The difference in these two cars, 200 in fact, with the lower powered car, Peter Malloy leading us in here. Huge proximity apart from the two cars as Justin Murphy lay off the line. Peter Malloy taking that opportunity to settle in and get the car dialed in, but making contact with the tyre wall on zone 3, and David Ford using that as an opportunity to close the proximity, get up on his door. Peter Malloy, though, even though he has lower power, always dialed in and able to manage a pace. David Ford making a huge dive there before the transition for 6, and they cross the line to finish out the run.
Yeah, as you said there, Adam, a couple of things there to look at from both drivers. Huge separation there on initiation, and David Ford definitely has the power, so I'm not sure if he missed the gear. Peter Malloy really good at getting the BMW hooped up, but Malloy runs very wide in, make contact with the tyres, puts a mark on that pristine BMW, and allows Ford back into the battle here. Now Ford, pretty much, you know, off his own merit after the mistake there, finds the quarter, but dials on quite an awful lot of angle there. Just thought he was going to hit Malloy, I think, and dialed on the angle. And you know, didn't maybe fully capitalise on the mistake from Malloy to get himself back 50-50 in this battle because of dialing on that angle at the end and letting Malloy get away.
That's for sure, Mike. It looks like he wasn't expecting that to happen, but he'll have to give a full send now in the lead position, David Ford will, to try and make things favour towards his way. With Peter Malloy, a great chase driver, and we can see that by him already as David Ford pushes away, using that bit of pace there before the decel zone into zone 3 here, and Peter Malloy's right there with him. A lovely looking run right now, so it is, Mike, as David Ford using all his tire speed to get into zone 4, missing zone 5 now. Peter Malloy's putting the pressure on him, not letting him get away despite the power difference, and they cross the line. I think this might be favouring one way.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at lead and chase versus chase, I know Malloy had the issue where he ran a little bit wide there and contacted the tyres. Ford had his own issues though in the lead position, and if you look at the two chases, then I think, you know, Malloy's was far better, and so it is. Peter Malloy wins his battle, progressing to the top 16, and that is that's an interesting one for the championship, because David Ford was way up there in the championship. Once again, he can drop one round, so we'll have to see how that looks at the end of the 6-round season. 5 of those will be counted towards your championship, and David Ford is out of action, so to face off against Peter Malloy, it's one of these two guys. Look at this, it's Dave Richards versus Alan Connaughty.
That is for sure, Mike. We're going to be led in here by the Lemon Style 11-0 S15, driven by Alan Connaughty here, hitting off the limiter in front of the tower. The lower powered David Richards making the dive up onto the door here for zone 3. Alan Connaughty looking very consistent, very fluid all through qualifying and practice, and he's doing the same here in the battle action. David Richards doing his best to try close that proximity and get right up on the door, but unfortunately not working out for him as it goes here into zone 6. David Richards dropping tyres there, but Alan Connaughty finishing out that run with a lovely line.
Yeah, really nice there, but a good chase from Richards overall, keeping himself in the chase here, so to speak, in the battle, and maybe sacrificing 2 there a bit, locks up his front in the chase. Connaughty with that really textbook lead line up to that point, as you said, making it quite easy for Richards to find the door, and the judges will be rewarding Connaughty for that lead line, make no mistake here, because it's pretty much, you know, a 90s qualifying run, which is exactly what they want to see. Now Richards, as you said, maybe slightly dropping a wheel there, got caught in the smoke towards the end, but it's still all to play for. I think both guys are still in the hunt here, maybe tiny advantage to Connaughty because of that really great lead line he had.
That's for sure, Mike. I don't think it's completely set one way at the moment just yet. We're going to see how it goes now with Alan Connaughty having to deal with the lower powered and maybe not as fast David Richards in the lead position. Richards very consistent majority of the time, few issues throughout the weekend, trying to dial that carry in for this track, but how he's going to do here is he's chased down by the S15. Richards here, he needs to not think about situation. There's a really close proximity between these two drivers.
Yeah, really good proximity there from Connaughty in the S14 right on the door of Richards in the BMW, and Dave will know all about that. He'll have seen and heard that in the peripheral vision, but massive mistake from Connaughty, and I think it's of his own accord there, Adam, because that was a huge error, opposite drift and off track from Connaughty, who was in pole position for the win here in the S14. What happened?
I do not know. It looks like he went to try to stay on drift, and maybe trying to deal with that lower powered car and not having the wheel speed that car is used to having to stay in drift. As we watch the replay here, everything looking so solid. Richards putting down a very good line here in the lead at the start, but look at this through zone 3. Alan Connaughty right up on the door. As you said, he's going to hear and feel that right here on zone 5 is where it happened. Yes, like Connaughty just came into zone 5, went on the handbrake to try and make a bit of a dive, and next thing the car just caught grip and started going forward. He tried correcting himself and unfortunately went out the window.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, Adam. You know, he was in a really good position there, and all he had to do was hit the throttle, and I think he had that battle. Unfortunately, not exactly the way it turned out, so Dave Richards, guys, does go through to the top 16 to face off against Peter Malloy. That'll be 2 extremely closely matched cars, and Richards will be delighted after making the long drive up from Kerry. And Alan Connaughty looking cool in the live stream there, but unfortunately for him, that is his weekend done and dusted. Now we go back, it's 5th place qualifier Dylan Wilson under the arch, with 28th place qualifier all the way from Devon in the UK, Alex Williams.
That's for sure. Alex Williams having a bit of a battle there of his own with the tyre wall in zone 3 in his in his second qualifying run. We're getting the car back out here now for battle action. Well, he's got not an easy one in front of him as Dylan Wilson sends it in through zones 1 and 2. Very great driver. That's the top contender really for taking this Pro 2 championship home with him this year. Alex Williams not letting him get away. These cars have only got a match on the power scale. And Alex Williams keeping close proximity the whole way through this battle now, really shining through. Obviously no major issues caused in that crash in the second qualifying run as they finish out that run. Great stuff there to Alex Williams. I was really trying to see there, is there any issues I can see on the car existing from that crash, because we could see when he was coming off track that time the toe was way out.
Yeah.
But it looks like everything seems to be back and going. The team are working hard on that since that happened, and Dylan Wilson just doing Dylan Wilson things really, to be honest, but on a very consistent great run.
Yeah, making it very chaseable for Williams, to be fair, who does look like he has his rear left geometry sorted after qualifying. Wilson with a super strong lead run there, but remember guys, this is just a top 32 battle in Pro 2 here. That was a battle worthy of maybe a top 16 Pro, maybe is slightly, the proximity could have been a tiny bit better, but really great lead and a consistent chase. So that's exactly what we want to see from Pro 2 action.
That's for sure. It could go either way right now as we see Alex Williams leading us in this time, chased down by Dylan Wilson. Alex Williams, lovely outside line by him. Wilson trying to close that proximity as much as he can, as here he makes a dive right at zone 3. Oh, Williams going on the inside line, very shallow, nearly missing majority of zone 3. And Wilson staying there right with him, trying to deal with what's going on with the lead driver. Think that could be the deciding factor on this one, Mike, because it looks very consistent since, and it crossed the line to finish that out.
Yeah, I was just getting ready what to say there, and I think you took the words out of my mouth, Adam. That was the deciding factor in my book, because Wilson's lead was so good. Williams had a good chase, kept himself in the fight, absolutely left the door open for the win here, but that mistake there really compromised Wilson's chase. He had to modify his line, and I think it messed him up a little bit from the centre section around 4 there. Now he got back into 5, got back into formation, and had a pretty strong finish here, but overall I think that mistake just there around number 3 from Williams might be enough to sway the judges in favour of the Dairyman here.
That's for sure. Watching it there, it's not what we're used to seeing from Alex Williams as well, so maybe it is just a case there is a few issues still arising with that car. Maybe the alignment isn't 100% after that bang he had with the tyre wall.
It passes the vision test by me. It looks like it's pointing pretty forward, or maybe a bit in, which is what you want, a little bit of toe in on this. And
these cars are so dialed in, Mike. It could be just a few little degrees of a difference, and it could be, as we can see the live stream here.
Yeah, a bit of a straighten as well there. But maybe that car, they're very rarely 100% when you repair them at the event, because the subframe itself can be a little bit bent, or one of the mounting points on the subframe could have been a little bit compromised. And the small little geometry change in these cars, because of the grip that they're running, does equate to quite a lot of handling difference in them. So maybe Williams just battling a little bit of gremlins in that car after the collision in qualifying.
That's for sure. We can see it here. Yeah, it's as if, so when he came in through initiation, he's drifting to his left, but coming around zone 3, he's going to his right, and you can see it immediately. There's a bit of a jig wobble in it. Maybe the car's just catching grip. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm unsure.
Jig wobble.
Yeah, maybe.
A jig wobble.
Yeah. Maybe there's a banana on the floor or something.
Yeah, it could have been a Super Mario banana. Now, to me, looking at this simplistically, I think Wilson has this, but the judges always, and I spoke about this actually with Tomas Falvey in briefing this morning, the judges, especially Kieran Hines, is always really good at finding little nuances in runs that you'd miss as a fair weather fan or a spectator or commentator, even when you're too busy talking about the run to really watch it. So the judges are having a look at the replay, but overall I think the mistake from Williams there, and just a tidy lead run from Wilson. Oh, it's a one more time. Okay, so it is a one more time. Judges seeing something that we didn't there, obviously, and it is a one more time. And yeah, definitely an interesting one. We might pick Kieran Hines' brain about that one for a second when it comes the second time around. But we go back to the line, guys. It's all action here in IDS round 3, and it is Nathan Corcoran on the line versus Niall McInerney, and this is a spicy battle for top 16, I'm going to say. Two pretty top drivers here on their day, and Nathan Corcoran looks to be having his day here. He qualified quite highly in 12th. And Niall McInerney does up and coming and looking very good in this championship. So let's see what happens.
That's for sure. Nathan Corcoran lead position, nearly double the horsepower in that car as Niall McInerney, but Niall McInerney does not look like that's the scenario here, as he made a huge dive up on the door of him. He's prepared for him to be fast. As we can see, proximity opening up again. This really is a power situation here. Nathan Corcoran, bit shallow on zone 5 there, but transitioning back now into 6, and Niall McInerney trying to follow the line as best as he can. The speed of Nathan Corcoran, he put that in go mode since qualifying. The pace difference is insane, and Niall McInerney is doing his best to keep up with that.
Yeah, well, Nathan Corcoran's problem in qualifying all along has been that he has had this car way too gripped up. He really couldn't deal with it quite a lot of the time in qualifying, and the car was super fast, but there's no point in qualifying for being fast. You just have to have your line, your style, your impact right. I think, you know, I had a word with him, and I think a lot of people did, to loosen the car up a little bit. And he seems to have done that in qualifying, but maybe for the battles now, he has just dialed it back in a little bit again. Didn't seem to have quite the qualifying runs that he did there in the lead position, but the car did look to be very fast. So maybe he's just thinking about this intelligently, sacrificing a tiny bit of drivability here for speed, and it might be about to work out for him.
That's for sure. He looked very comfortable in round 2, so maybe he's just trying to push that car to its limits now. And look at Niall McInerney as he pushes his car to the limit and to the edge of the track. Oh, Nathan Corcoran spins. Is this an error caused by the lead driver? We're going to have to watch the replay and find out. Niall McInerney finishing out his run here. As we can see, Nathan Corcoran, after shutting it down now, just finishing out the run. Niall McInerney in the lead position. I didn't catch what happened there, Mike. Was it just too close of a transition?
The Tyre Box sponsored E36 there, gone off into the distance. I think it's exactly what we were speaking about here, Adam. I think that Corcoran had the car so gripped up, he got caught on the inside here in the pocket, didn't back out early enough for the transition. I think McInerney was on full throttle. We see lots of tyre smoke if we watch back. Judges are watching the replay back now. You guys will be seeing it at home. If you're here in Bishopscourt watching live, feel free to fire on the YouTube and watch what we're watching. So, okay, we're watching now for tyre smoke. We're watching for full acceleration from McInerney in the lead position. Did he do everything as expected? I mean, it looked like he powered through the transition to me. That is a decel zone just about coming up after the transition.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say the fault is on Niall McInerney in the lead position for sure. You can even see it there as you go through 1, coming into 2. Nathan really is up on the door of the car, where he probably should be more nearly on the rear bumper, the rear panel of it, when coming into that position before they transition. So it's obviously going to be the deciding factor on this one.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think McInerney was doing everything right. It is a decel zone coming into 3, and yeah, indeed, Niall McInerney, guys, goes through to the top 16, where he will face off against the winner of the One More Time between Dylan Wilson and Alex Williams. So Nathan Corcoran gripped the E46, definitely had the pace, but unfortunately had a little bit too much of it, caught himself in the pocket and was forced into the spin because he had nowhere to go. So we go across to the right hand side of the bracket. We are flying through this top 32, and it is Andrew Kinna in second place in qualifying against Francie Hines in second last place in qualifying.
That's for sure. Andrew Kenna is absolutely on fire this weekend. Look at him. Look at that initiation with huge angle there. A bit shallow on zone 2, and Francie Hines lost, gone in the smoke, but he's trying to come back and get up onto the door of Andrew Kenna, who pulls away again, using all the power in IS 300 or Altezza, whatever we want to say it is. Francie Hines here making another dive now on zone 5, the transition for the last zone 6, and cross the line. Oh, Francie Hines shutting it down there, so an incomplete run as well.
Yeah, let's see if that was after the finish line or before. I think it might have been before, but I didn't spot it. I was watching Andrew in the lead position.
Yeah, it looks like Francie's pulled to the side now. Maybe a mechanical issue for Francie Hines. Too many clutch kicks.
Yeah.
He's a fan of a clutch kick.
In the SR, well, he has an SR20. He might need to be a fan of a clutch kick. So let's see if it was before the finish line or after, because if it was before the finish line, the rest of the run pretty much becomes...
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He's way off to the left there. He lost drive, and it seemed to just grip up on him, and he ended up to the left-hand side of the track. So you have to think it might not be a 0 for Hines, but it's going to be a huge disadvantage, I would say. At least a very big disadvantage going in to the second half of this battle between Galway and Kildare. So Francie Hines, the lower qualifier, now leads us in. Once again, the advantage being the higher qualifier is that Andrew Kinnan now knows that he doesn't have to chase that hard. He knows that there was a mistake from Hines. He will have heard it from his spotter. Look at exactly that. He's just hanging back here a little bit. Careful not to do too much here, because I don't think it's quite a zero, but Andrew Kinnan leaving a little bit of a gap to Francie Hines, knowing that if he just puts in a acceptable chase run that he might be okay. Francie Hines doing a much better lead this time. No car issues for the Galway man in the SIL 80, but Andrew Kinnan is just hanging back there, doing the safe thing and getting the Altezza across the line.
That's for sure. Andrew Kinnan really dealing well there with the pace difference into two cars, and Francie Hines just trying to push away and put down as fluid run as he possibly can, but doesn't look like it's going to work out for him, Mike. Quite unfortunate after that issue in the first run.
Yeah, so just waiting for the judges' decisions to drop in, and we can announce going through to the top 16. It is Andrew Kinnan books his place in the top 16, guys, and Francie Hines takes the top 32 and will be taking an early bath, but he will be happy to qualify, where over half the field got eliminated in qualifying. So down to the line again, it is Dave Flaherty against Ross Patterson. Dave Flaherty qualifying in 15th, Ross in 18th, so very, very close on paper with the qualifying scores at least. Dave Flaherty, as we mentioned, expecting him a little bit higher in the championship. Top driver with the M54 powered BMW against Ross Patterson with all the horsepowers in the 2JZ powered E46, so double E46 battle here. Let's see. Is it going to be turbo BMW or turbo Toyota power? Lovely entry there in the chase for Patterson, but he backs out again straight away. Now Patterson looks to find the door once again as Flaherty gets on that outside line. Really nice here from Flaherty in the PFM sponsored E46. And the almost road car-esque E46 of Patterson now on the inside of the track there, Adam. Not the perfect place he wants to be for the chase.
That's for sure. Flaherty looks very fluent in the lead position there, putting on a very solid run all the way from initiation here. And Patterson, you can see on the dive for the door in zone 1 into 2, just looks like he went onto the inside of the track, maybe not having the pace or the grip to match Flaherty with his angle and pace in the lead position, leaving productivity opening up quite a lot here as we watch the replay all the way through. Flaherty maybe not the most maybe not the best run, to be honest, in the lead. Very chaseable for sure, but not fulfilling every zone, missing a lot of zone 5, but I would say things are kind of more facing towards him after that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's see, we swapped them around, lead becomes chase, and we're almost ready to rock with the second half of this battle. And it is the second battle on the right hand side of the bracket at the top 32, flying through battles here in IDS round 3, and Patterson leads us in, and now Flaherty is right there with him, but could be a little bit closer. Flaherty knowing he might be at a slight advantage here, maybe hanging back a small bit, but he doesn't want to do too much because I don't think it's cut and dried after the first one, and there's a big gap opening up here. The 2J of Patterson is doing 2J things here and putting down the power. And yeah, Flaherty totally missing the last zone there, Adam, and I think this one is going to be pretty close.
I think it may be, Mike, a few mistakes from both drivers in both positions, but you're going to put lead to lead and chase to chase on this one. I know that's such a confusing thing to say, but it really is going to be that case. You're going to have to compare them as if there was only one car on the track at that time, because down to their line, like there is mistakes in different parts of the track by both drivers, but mistakes nonetheless. As we can see,
a lot of smoke there coming from Patterson's car.
Maybe
I hope it's just tire smoke billowing out of the cockpit.
I'd say it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good either, but yeah, you probably don't want that in the cockpit with you, but you know, it is what it is in this sport. And yeah, we do have a winner. It's Ross Patterson takes the win here, guys. Slightly lower qualifier. Patterson taking the win, knocking out Dave Flaherty. And yeah, a close battle there, Adam. And I think just overall there, Flaherty dropping back quite a lot in his chase there, and the aggression from Patterson in his chase on the first run, maybe just enough to sway it slightly in favour of him in the eyes of the judges.
That is for sure, Mike. We're moving on to our next battle now, which will be a very interesting one. This is two young guns with a lot of talent, especially the likes of Jake McAfee, who we saw really shine through in round 2. Ryan Nally, he's still sitting quite high in the championship standings at the present moment, but not looking the strongest today, being the lower qualifier on this in 26th position versus Jake McAfee, who's in 7th. So we'll see how this goes. Quite evenly matched cards as well. 530 break for Ryan Nally and 600 for Jake McAveen. We're led in by Jake McAveen, a higher qualifier here, right out to the edge of the track, and Ryan Nally's not holding back one bit there as he tries getting right up onto the front panel of Jake McAveen. Ryan Nally stumbles there halfway through zone 3, maybe a bit too aggressive coming through that zone in the chase position, but look at him, he's right there with him. Is there a massive pace difference in these two cars? Not that I realised before, but maybe I'm realising it right now. Bit of contact as well there crossing the line. Ryan Nally dropping tyres as well.
Yeah, double S13 battle here, the 180SX RPS 13 versus the Coupe PS13 of Nally, and it's just opposite sides of the 6-cylinder spectrum, of course, powering both cars. And like you said there, big mistake from Nally. We'll have to have a look once again, just in case the lead car did anything funny, causing the chase car to have to make an unexpected correction.
Bit of contact there in the transition as well, by the looks of it.
Yeah, but I don't think there was anything funny. I mean, Jake McAveen is one of these guys, if you're following him down here from the start line into initiation, he's one of the drivers in this series that I would most trust to put it right on his quarter panel on initiation, because he's always so consistent. He's within 3-4 inches of himself on every run. So you know, you have to think there might have been just a problem with the chase, but it's not over yet. I think it's still to play for, as Nally leads us in now and McAveen chases.
He sure does. Maybe Nally knows the abilities of Jake McAveen. He's gripped up that car because it looks like he's lots of pace here, but Jake McAveen's well able to deal with that, shallowing on the angle to close that proximity, and he's doing a perfect job here now. Oh, Jake, bit of a mistake there, missing zone 4, sacrificing it to keep that proximity as close as he possibly can. Proximity is all over the place here for these two drivers in the second half of this run, but a lot more fluent on the line from Jake McAveen, matching what Ryan Nally is doing. If we're talking about proximity, Nally definitely gets this. If we're talking about line, McAveen gets this. But what are the judges going to go by?
Yeah, I think that mistake on the first one might be the defining factor here, and we'll just have to see which way the judges have deemed that one, as both drivers air out the cars. Two young guns, of course. The one via of Nally there looking really good. I think you could actually buy that out of the factory in America. 240SX, you could buy it as a 1 with the pop-up front on the coupe rear. And you could buy, of course, a Sileti in Japan. Kids Heart made like 500 of them, I think. Like Frenzy Heinz's car, they put a Silvia front on the 180SX.
That's for sure. Speaking of a Sileti, Mike, it isn't the Sileti going through. It's going to be the 180. It's Jake McAveen taking the win on this one. I would say that's a very close call. We can hear the crowd cheering for that. Young Jake McAveen really shining through the last couple of rounds, and he might just take a podium spot today. I would not be knocking him out of opportunity for that. Unfortunately, the last we'll be seeing of Ryan Nally this weekend.
Yeah, Jake is just one of these young guns we see of the northern drivers. You know, we see a couple of them there now in the pro class, and there's one on the line here now for one more time as well. Dylan Wilson leaving the line against Alex Williams in the one more time, and yeah, judges deeming it too tight to call on the first battle, and Wilson leads us in.
That's for sure. Wilson leads us in here, doing what he always does. Look at that as he rubs the rear end of that turkey fire up against the wall on into zone 3 and now into 4. Williams straightening just a small bit there on the transitions between 3 and into 5, obviously going through 4 there as well. Williams trying to use his aggression here, going on the inside of the track to close the proximity. He's fighting for proximity, but Wilson just goes and just, he has that car set up and go all the time. We call him a pilot, not just because he crashed the car in the last round, nearly flying over someone else's car, but because he's just so consistent and just has the pace, has the line dialed in.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his driving. I've let him know that as well. He's one of the top drivers in the Pro2 championship, and he's a pro driver all day long, to be very honest. You put a set of semi-slicks on this car, he'll go out there tomorrow, he'll do the business. And on that note, we are bringing up the top 8 drivers from today, I believe, into Pro action tomorrow. So 2 battles in. If you win 2 battles, you're in for the Pro class tomorrow. You'll be looking for semi-slicks tonight. Wilson looking good here. I think he's in the driving seat here, but literally, figuratively, because of that slight mistake from Williams in the chase. But once again, it's not over till it's over.
That's for sure, Mike. We're going to have to find out here now, as Williams in the lead position, having a bit of a crash in his exact spot on his second qualifying run, but now looking very solid. Look at this dive there from Wilson there. There's an extra bit of a clutch kick to try close proximity. Lines looking a lot stronger from both drivers here. Wilson again very aggressive now, making a huge dive on zone 5. He's not holding back. Oh, look at this. The rear ends of both cars do a bit of like a bump off each other as they cross the line.
Well, yeah, a little bit of a shoulder barge there, but interestingly, the judges have the option of going one more time, and if there is a third battle after running, they have to make a decision at the end of the third battle.
No. What we're going to do is we're going to put them in on tractors, and we're going to have a drag race. Yeah.
Tractor lawnmowers. Drag racing, tractor lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just going to really mix it up, like.
We do have tractor lawnmower racing here, guys. If you fancy making your way down here to Bishopscourt tomorrow, it is quite entertaining, I can tell you that much. You might be distracted from the drifting for a bit to see some guys racing around on lawnmowers here, but once again, if you are within driving distance of the track here at the east side of County Down, be sure to come down here, because tomorrow's action is going to be absolutely nuts, I can guarantee you that. And the weather is looking quite good as well. So it's not quite beach weather, it's perfect drifting weather. It's not quite beach weather, but it's, you know, it's nice and acceptable. It's like today, basically.
That's for sure, but if you're ginger, bring factor 50. I will give you the heads up on that.
Okay.
You know, as a ginger myself.
You can tell from experience.
Yeah.
We might be in a situation here where we might end up going one more time, because
I think that last bump there is going to be the one that's going to be one more time.
Yeah, I mean, Williams, he had the straighten in the chase as well. But he had a really strong lead run, really great lead run, to be fair. He was bang on line, made life very easy for Wilson. Wilson not with the chase that I would have expected him to put in as a rule. So yeah, and that contact there just before the line, he made a really aggressive dive, just maybe powered through the transition a little bit too much. Didn't expect, you know, to gain such proximity on Williams. And the judges having a good long chat about this when watching the replays to our left here. And they are mic'd up to each other, of course, in headsets, and can ask for multiple replays. And I do see them writing on a sheet, Adam, which means that we have a result. I don't know what that result is, but we will know in a second.
Or else we're writing love notes to each other. You never know. You never know.
That's okay too. So guys, going through to the top 16, it is Dylan Wilson goes through to the top 16. Alex Williams, take a bow. That was a great lead run, especially. You did great. Coming all the way from Devon. Thank you for joining us. And you can relax for the rest of the evening. And Dylan Wilson books his place to take on Niall McInerney, actually, in the top 16. Now, to take on Jake McElveen, who we saw battling in the battle before the one more time. It will be Ericus Navicus versus Jidrius Belkus, the battle of the pronunciations.
This is one I am going to struggle with defending, Mike. But I will say Ericus looking absolutely on fire this weekend. All trail practice and all trail qualifying this morning. He is flying it fluent, just on the line, exactly where the judges want to see him. He paid attention throughout briefing. He knows what he has to do, and he's out there to do that. But the same thing goes for Grigius in the chase position here.
Yeah, I mean, Ericus was actually skirting with disaster there, not qualifying earlier on. Did pull it together very much then for the second lap and got himself into 10th position with his 550 horsepower M54 engine, E46. But Jidrius here at the horsepower disadvantage, and you can see that. Watch this gap opening up here, and Jidrius pushing way too hard as a result of trying to make up that ground, and drops a couple of wheels off track. He's in a bad position here now, Adam.
He sure is. Ericus has the pace, and he's using every bit of it to get away here as they go all the way through now to zone 4. And Gidris trying to close proximity after that mistake in zone 2, knocking the water barriers all over the place. I think it's all facing one way after that battle, Mike, but we're going to have to see on the second half of this run.
Yeah, Gidris in not a great position here. If you watch, he knows he's out-carred here, and he drops. I would say it's two, almost 3 wheels off there, but just about, I think, kept the third wheel on the line. If it was tennis, we'd be going to an umpire's decision there, but I think we're okay. And you know, from that moment on, Ericus has gone off into the distance here in his E46, and he's just really putting foot to floor. He knows he's at the advantage, and he'll be concentrating on his lead line from that point, but he'll know that there was no car on his door at least. And yeah, looking good here, the Naceman, for a place in the top 16 if he can hold it together. But as we always say, it is quite difficult when you are chasing the slower car, and there is quite a marked pace difference between these. But I think at this stage, Adam, he has the experience at this stage at Pro 2. He's done this a lot, and he's going to know exactly what he has to do here by hanging back a bit on initiation and then using the left foot brake just before the transitions to get him just to keep the car sideways but slow it down, not making, you know, any rash dives, and just maintain that safe proximity and take this battle.
That's for sure. We've seen him in top 16 parades time and time again, and making his way into the pro category and looking quite comfortable there as well. So I wouldn't put it past Ericus to be making his way into the Pro 1 standings for next year if he continues driving the way he's driving. But all that leads down to how he does on the championship standings, and can Gigius put a stop to that right now, right here in Bishopscourt, by taking him out and not letting him further on into the top 16?
Well, yeah, he can do it, but he's going to be under pressure, because your best chance of actually affecting a battle is from the chase position. When you're leading, all you can do is really put in that really solid lead run. If you play any games or anything, not that any of these guys do, but we have seen it happen once or twice in the past in various series. If you do anything, the judges are going to cop it, they're going to see it, and you're going to be at a disadvantage. So all you can do is put in that perfect lead run and hope that the guy behind you makes a mistake.
That's for sure, Mike, because I'm completely distracted here by nothing relevant to drifting, but a lot of lads not cutting grass, but still riding lawnmowers.
Well, that thing that's gone over there, the power in it, and we were just saying there's definitely like a preferred chassis and engine combo here.
What's the 2JZ lawnmowers like?
It has to be the John Deere.
Who's the James Dean, a lawnmower ride?
I don't know who it is, but I think, you know, the guy in the John Deere there just took off over. Look at him there. I mean, look at the pace in this thing.
There'd be some, I said earlier on, there'd be some crack.
I might work it in now to have a go later on myself here. Literally, I might just mosey on over and be like, how's it going, lads? Any chance of a quick
one? I may as well join you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
With a race you bet.
And look how well the grass is kept on the racing line as well.
Yeah, it's well cut and maintained.
It's just perfect.
Back to drifting anyways.
Drifting.
His Guidra's leaving us in.
Invested there.
Chased down by Ericus.
Yeah, Ericus doing the intelligent thing here, just hanging back a little bit. Gidres a little bit shy on the entry, but now is finding that outside line. But Ericus is going to have to be careful now right here, just getting caught in the pocket at the narrowest part of the track. He's doing pretty much everything right in the chase position, but Ericus getting caught out a little bit, just about maintaining drift there. Under pressure, Ericus Navicus is under pressure here as they cross the line, and he was struggling there to maintain drift behind him, Adam, but I think overall it's still advantage to the Naceman here, I have to think. But you know what, it wasn't that huge a difference between both drivers overall.
Not a huge difference. Look at it here. The pace difference really affected him. Coming through zone 3 there, he stamps on the left foot brake. Stamps on it maybe a little bit too hard, and that's what caused him the issue. Not having that rear wheel speed to keep the drift going and the momentum and so on. And you can see it just affect him throughout the rest of his run. It does face more towards him, but maybe at the same time he just got caught and distracted by looking at the lawnmowers as well.
Yeah, maybe he could have dived a little bit harder at 5 there, I thought, as we grid him up now for the lawnmower race, which I think everybody wants to see. I don't know what this blue thing is coming in now from the back, but I think there's Massey Ferguson there, Ford, New Holland, John Deere, you know, maybe a bit of Dutes, however you pronounce it. There's tractor guys at home now roaring at the TV.
These two. I'm not going to curse again.
Back to drifting, and it's Ericus Navicus that takes the win, guys. Books his place in the top 16 to face off against Jake McElveen. What a reward he gets. Two big hitters in the championship there now, guys, in the top 16. Jake and Ericus will be facing off. But Gidrius, unfortunately, not having the car to keep with the pace of the E46 of Navicus, which means that we move it along to our next battle. It is the Corkman Marcus Hyden against Stefan Wills, and it's third place qualifier versus 30th place qualifier, so big gap here on paper in terms of qualifying scores, Adam.
Massive gap, in fact, at our second last battle here of our top 32. Kicks off with Mark Synahan leading us in, looking very strong all day. One of the highest qualifiers out there, nearly hitting water barriers, but making it work for himself. Looking very comfortable here as Stefan Wills tries closing the proximity, not matching him on an angle, kind of struggling there, so he is by the looks of it, Mike, taking it inside of the track, but that does not seem to be working out for any driver on this track. And really taking the inside line there, almost as if he's racing as well. Max Heinen dropping tyres in the last zone there, but I don't think that's going to affect the way this is going.
No, I mean, Wills was also completely shy of 6 there, so the wheel drop from Heinen there shouldn't have been a big deduction compared to the chase run. So Heinen is on a really nice outside lead run, and unfortunately there for Wills, he finds himself on the inside of the track, almost losing drift, just struggling a little bit in the chase. And again, guys, these are, you know, it is the Semi-Pro Championship, the Pro 2 series over here, and you will have some inconsistencies creeping in the top 32, but once we get down, especially once we get down to the Great 8, the battles get super good, and this is super tight. As we watch, speaking of battles here now, this is what we want to see. This is exactly like live stream, guys. Forget the drifting a minute. Let's just see how this one pans out.
It's probably the worst thing ever you could put on for a load of car lads that love silly little things with engines. Just not more racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
As both drivers are still down on the line, getting ready for the second half of this battle as well. As we can see a few of these lads popping wheelies in their lawnmowers.
I wonder how often these things roll. I'd say it can't be uncommon.
That's what I'm scared to look away for in case I miss out on that.
She'll dig in like, and are they on go-kart wheels? And are these standard engines? Do they just alter the gearing, or what happens? But I suppose we have to go back.
They're not going into the local plant hire and get one of them anyway.
We have to go back to the drifting again. Well, I'll keep an
don't sound upset. You watch the tractors. I'll watch this. All right, as Max Heinen chases down Stefan Wills in the lead position. Here he goes. He goes into zone 1. Shallow on 2, but trying to open up proximity and get away. Taking the inside line here again by Stefan Wills. And Marcus Heinen playing the safe now, not making too much of a dive. He knows things are facing his way more after that first run. Really close to the wall there, Max Heinen taking rear body panels off his car and also taking a very shallow line there as well. Stefan Wills not putting down the ideal lead line, but they both crossed the line.
Yeah. Top 32 action here, guys, in Pro 2 IDS round 3 in Bishopscourt. And let's have a look at this one again. Heinen at a big advantage coming into the second half of this battle, you have to say, due to the mistakes from Stefan Wills in the first one and the lack of proximity as well. Heinen hanging back, knowing that he was at the advantage. These guys will have a spotter in their ear, letting them know exactly how the first run went, telling them how hard to push. I think Heinen's spotter will have been in his ear telling him that there was a lot of mistakes from the chase in the first one. Don't push too hard here, buddy. Don't make a mistake, and you have this one. I think that's what's happening. And yeah, I think Marcus Heinen probably heeding that advice and just, playing it safe. And Stefan Wills looking delighted there in the live stream, but unfortunately for him, that is it for him. And Marcus Heinen books his place in the top 16. And he will be delighted with that, and he will face off against the winner of the next battle. It's Max Bagudzis versus Tom Hayden.
It sure is, Mike. I thought we were on our second last battle of top 32. We're not. We still have we've three more battles now to go over our top 32. Loads of battle action here today, so there is.
It's a fast top 32. I think we're after knocking the most of it out in an hour, pretty much. So that's a quick top 32. Yep, so Marcus Heinen taking the win, as we have announced already, and just making that official there on the live stream. And so we're ready to rock with Tom Hayden is our higher qualifier from 14th position versus Maximus Baguzis in 19th position.
As we're back to the track racing now,
45, man after my own heart. He's just one under Rossi there at 45. We've got, there's a guy doing donuts in tractor lawnmowers.
There is two.
There is two. Number 66 is doing a few rings. And back to the line. And look at this E92 BMW. Just what a great looking car in the hands of Max there. And Tom Hayden's car as well. Twin front bumper is a great looking car too. So huge wing on Tom's car there. But look at this E92. How good look is this car?
Incredible looking. So it is, Mike's. We're led in here by Tom Hayden in lead position. Oh, Maximus making a very early initiation there. And Tom Hayden making a mistake as well, dropping tyres. A bit of a sketchy start there from both drivers, but looking a lot more straighter here now for zone 3 as both drivers put down a very good line through that zone and into 4. Maximus keeping close proximity here. The start of this run is definitely going to be a call on who made a mistake first or who made a bigger mistake, because the second half of this is looking very tight.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's going to come down to the initiation there from Max. He went very early. Now Tom went a little bit late as well, dropped the wheel, so it mightn't be a huge advantage there to Tom because he had his own mistake, but Max firing the BMW in very early there. Now Max is pretty much looking like he has the grip here, gets back on an early transition and actually gets the car rotated before Tom from the chase position. And looking like the BMW has all the grip there, firing it on angle and matching or bettering the lead car's angle there. So despite that early initiation, Max is looking like an aggressive driver here, Adam. He looks like he's hungry for it.
He sure does, Mike. And can he pull through here now as he goes into lead position? He'll know he made a mistake there talking to his spotters on his initiation chase position, so hopefully he doesn't do that again now while he's in the lead. But Tom Hayden is going to be full send here to get on the door of that BMW as they come down here into zone 1. Huge angle from Maximus and pulling away from Tom Hayden. Tom Hayden having to go a bit shallow there on the line to try keep proximity as close as he can, making a dive there for zone 3. Tom Hayden looks like he's struggling quite a bit there with Maximus in the lead position. He has so much pace in that very luxurious looking BMW, and Tom Hayden back on the inside here trying to get up on the door before he cross the line. Tom Hayden looking very straight there on the last zone.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's luxurious is the right word. I have an E92 on daily, and yeah,
it's the gold livery on
quick,
that.
It's quick, but I'm not sure if it's luxurious. It's on the
gold livery, the big Essex logo on the side. Just it looks
like
like
premium.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of an exemplar kind of a livery feeling with different colours, you know, a bit of a premium service feeling. Yeah, I get you.
I feel like it smells like perfume inside it, like.
Yeah, possibly, or tire smoke and man.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
To be honest,
that's quite possible. You never know. You never know.
Tire smoke and man inside it, but what a combo.
Not a great mix. You wouldn't want to bottle that up anyway.
No, you wouldn't get much money for that in the perfume department of Brown Thomas or Selfridges, that's for sure. So, yeah. Now Tom Hayden, back to the drifting. Tom Hayden, you know, not perfect either in the chase position here, way off the clips, not with a lot of angle, and he's very much on the inside of the track now. We did have that early initiation from Max in the first run, but overall I think Tom might be after compromising his slight advantage here as he comes into the second battle. So the judges having another quick look here and are putting pen to paper, I think, or are they watching another replay? They're watching another replay, as we are too, so they're back to the first one there where Max made that really early initiation way offline. Now he's quite offline on the inside of the track as well, but he does find the door doing it. Does he cut the track to do that? A little bit, yes. Judges don't want to see them cutting the track, but then he's right in the pocket, gets the transition done early, knocks the E92 onto angle, once again actually betters the lead car's angle there. They want to see him mimicking it really. If you better it, okay, in the right circumstances, but they really want to see you mimicking it. Now swap them around. Tom very much sacrifices all of zone 1 and 2. Again, he's very straight there for a second, and he sacrifices 3 just like Max did. Now Max is on a really nice lead line here. Tom sacrifices 4 to get onto the door around 5, goes straight on the inside. So lots of mistakes there from both drivers. And yeah, I mean, it was a sketchy run, Adam, from both judges, with a lot of things to work out from both drivers here.
That is for sure, Mike. It's our judges are really deliberating on this one, watching the replays back, trying to figure out which driver should be taking the position on this, and they have made a decision. In fact, it is Maximus Bagusis taking the win on this one. So Maximus in his BMW will be leading through to the top 16, knocking out Tom Hayden.
Yes, 17 years of age with 750 brake horsepower in an E92. I mean, that is peak living, to be honest, if you're 17. in a car that looks like this as well. Imagine, you know, you're in school.
When I was 17 years of age, I had the power on my 2 legs to try to push me on a bike.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was the way for a lot of us, to be honest. These days, you've got a 750 horsepower, beautiful BMW like that. So Tom Hayden bows out of competition, and Max will face off against Marcus Heinen.
That's for sure. Speaking of a beautiful BMW, Mike, look who's on the line.
Yeah, it's a very interesting battle now. It's local man Andrew Malloy who qualified in 6th versus Kieran O'Dwyer in his old car, the V8 powered E46 BMW. His Saab powered car losing a turbo yesterday. He rang us in Group D to see if we had something, and I advised him just not to chance putting on a G series. It was a GTX 3076 Origin 2. I think he had oil starvation issues. He was wondering would he put on a G series or something, and I said the G series comes in hard and fast at low RPM. You want to get to the dyno because they come in hard and fast, and especially those Saab engines are known for needing big turbine housings. So not a great idea to just swap turbo and not go to the dyno. So he got his old car transported up from Anteg, County Limerick, just at the bottom of County Limerick, up here to Northern Ireland yesterday evening. And yeah, that's the commitment of drifting. I'm not sure if they went down and got it or if somebody left home and brought it up, but got the old car up here, and now here he is on the grid.
That's for sure, Mike. Something just take note of there as well. Something we're not used to seeing too much is Malloy brother having more power than the car they're coming up against. Andrew Malloy actually sitting with 330 brake horsepower underneath the bonnet of that BMW E36 with an M3 engine, being chased down by Kieran O'Dwyer with that V8 sitting about 270, 280 brake horsepower. Andrew Malloy, the first of the 2 Malloy brothers, or the second of the 2 Malloy brothers we're seeing in battle action so far today. Always so consistent, always looking great on track. But Kieran O'Dwyer's first year competing, looking very strong in previous battles, especially the Winter Series as well, but not having the pace or the ability to keep up with Andrew Malloy here. Andrew Malloy has left him for dust here as he finishes out the run as Kieran O'Dwyer crosses into zone 6 and closes out his run.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason Kieran O'Dwyer bought the new car. Instead of doing an engine swap, he said it's probably cheaper to buy a new car. He just was out of pace with the current chassis, with this chassis. No, he didn't do himself any favours. I think he lost quite a lot of speed on initiation. And the thing with the Malloys is, be it Peter or Andrew, they very, very rarely beat themselves. You have to beat them. You have to really stick it on their door and pull away from them in the lead. It's very rare that they make a mistake, so they're quite difficult to beat, hence why they were hanging around the top end of the championship last year. Yeah, Kieran there not with the perfect initiation, just leaving himself a little bit shy of the door and could not make it up for the rest of the run, so it is definitely big advantage Malloy as we move into the second half of this battle.
That's for sure. Kieran O'Dwyer, the slower car after the first one, taking the lead position here, missing zone 2 unfortunately. Andrew Malloy right there with him.
Yeah, he is indeed. Andrew Malloy is right on the quarter panel now of Kieran O'Dwyer here. It is County Down versus County Limerick, and the Down man is not perfect, straightens up again, but is definitely looking like the driver who is at an advantage here because of the proximity compared to the first battle, and both drivers cross the line. Having fun, guys. Round of applause for Andrew Malloy and Kieran O'Dwyer putting on a show here in their BMWs.
That's for sure, Mike. There's cars out there with more horsepower than these 2 cars combined, but they're both out there with the ability and the talent, putting on a great show for us. Look at this replay here as we watch this. Kieran O'Dwyer in the lead position, actually making a tap off the wall there at the end of zone 3 as well, just opening that rear boot of his.
Yeah, so waiting for to drop in from our marshal at the finish line. And it is, as we expected, Andrew Malloy wins, guys, goes through to the top 16. And a round of applause, guys, for Kieran O'Dwyer having his spare car transported up and managing to qualify it this morning in a very, very tough 64 car field, I believe, after a couple of mechanicals. So exactly half the field qualifying, half going home. But to face off against Andrew Malloy, guys, it's our last battle of the top 32 already here at IDS Round 3 Pro 2. It's Niall Looney, the higher qualifier, to take on Owen Foran.
Niall Looney looking very consistent throughout qualifying and very fast as well. But Owen Foran, as we mentioned before, has really been showing his talent since he got this X-Candy Culture 180SX, and he's looking very strong as well. As Niall Looney in the lead position puts it right out to the edge of the track, everywhere he needs to be and he's supposed to be. But look, Owen Foran making a dive for the door here. The pizza man himself trying to close up and put a mark on Niall Looney's. Oh.
Yeah,
Niall Looney shut it down.
Both drivers shutting it down. I have to have a look at that again, but definitely a run-defining moment, Adam.
Absolutely, Mike. I just wouldn't put it the run stop there.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So pretty much everything that happened up to this point is not really applicable now to worry about. But from here on now, let's see what happens. So the Altezza is in the lead.
Just looks like he lost drive there coming out of zone 5.
Yeah, did he almost over-rotate and shut it down?
It looks like he just kind of lost all power there nearly coming into it.
Yeah, I'd like a different
missing
angle,
gear.
to be honest. Yeah, possible. I don't think you'd be doing a gear change right there, but maybe.
Meaning to go down, coming up instead. I'm not too sure, but we're going to figure out. Both cars are back on the line now as Owen Foran is leading us in, chased down by Niall Looney. I'm not too sure what way this one's going to go, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. So Looney, I think, has to be the one at fault there, so he's got a lot to do here from the chase position. He's going to have to get right up in Owen Foran's business here and try to put him off, but he's not doing that. Owen Foran in the Nissan has the drive, has the go, and it looks like that the Kerryman is looking very, very good here for a place in the top 16, assuming the judges do, see it the same way that we did, that it was the lead car, because that angle was not great on the first one, but I think it's pretty easy to see.
That's for sure. They will have access to other views as well of this, such as the drone and so on, so they'll be able to see exactly what happened, where we're only peasants compared to them. We only get to see what the street sees.
Absolutely, yeah.
But obviously you were right in what you're saying. Niall Looney taking the fall for that in the first run, and Owen Foran taking the lead on that, our last battle of top 16. Owen Foran making his way into top 16 now, so it is. So
face off against Malloy, actually.
That'll be quite an interesting battle to see. Looking at it as well, but there's quite a few interesting battles, such as the likes of Jack Mulvihill and Rowan Doherty, who we can see lined up ready to go here for our first battle of top 16, as well as a few others which we'll be seeing up next, especially like Bartek and Justin Murphy. That'll be a very good one. Massive pace difference there, but two very talented drivers.
Yeah, well, we're flying through the battles here at round 3 semi-pro, and hopefully it stays that way, because it does keep it all action. Of course, it does always slow down a little bit in the top 4 as the cars need to go away and get fueled and tired up. But yeah, Jack Mulvihill, top place qualifier, taking on Ronan Doherty, who qualified in 16th. So a nice entry there from Mulvihill. He's one of the only drivers on that outside line all the way around the first corner, Adam, isn't he?
Mulvihill really just doing everything he's been told to do in throughout briefing. And look at him right here as he pushes away from Rowan Doherty into chase position. Rowan Doherty struggling to get up there, but you can see him giving it a few clutch kicks and trying to manage that throttle to try keep it on drift as well as close proximity. Bit of a straight in there for him in the chase position on the last zone, but Jack Mulvihill crosses the line with no issues.
Yeah, well, as I said, Jim Mulvihill there and all the Mulvihills, that's Jack's dad, putting in the hours and the money into this car. He was breaking a lot of transmission stuff, just couldn't get reliability in the Silvia, even in the Red Bull Drift Pursuit event in Mondello Park, which is tight and technical. They were still breaking shafts. So yeah, put in the DMI Bulldog quick change, put in the DMA sequential gearbox from us in Group D, and dialed in the gearing last night. Not happy with the gearing in this track. From a 3.4 went up to a 3.69, and yeah, happy out since, and that's what you get for the investment, so he's driving it extremely well. But Ronan Doherty now is in the lead position. He's no slouch either.
That is for sure. Rowan Doherty could absolutely pull this out of the bag. You never know what could happen. But Jack Mulvihill looks like he's determined to get up on the door. Look at this from Jack Mulvihill. Right there with him, matching him on angle, matching him on pace and everything in every single way. Rowan Doherty's giving him all the opportunities, though. A small bit of a fumble there going through into zone 4, and Jack Mulvihill playing it safe here. This is textbook stuff from Jack Mulvihill. I'm absolutely mind blown from the talent from this young man, only 15 years of age.
Yeah, he's just got it, and he's showing as well a lot of maturity for his years, because he knew how hard he had to push there, and he pushed exactly that hard. He didn't push any harder, and he knew exactly, I have to go this hard, but I'm not going to go another 5-10% to risk it here. So I think he's just after doing the intelligent thing here and winning the battle. That is it. Jack Mulvihill, guys, goes through to the great 8 actually already, booking himself a place in pro competition tomorrow already. And Ronan Doherty bowing out there. Good run there from Ronan, but unfortunately for him, coming up against one of the best in the business in the form of Jack.
That is for sure. I'd say his father Jim would definitely want to be looking out for a few semi-slicks just in case he makes it to tomorrow, because I think it's a high possibility. We're going to find out who he... Oh, he is. He's already in the Grade 8. So yeah, it is our top 8 that's going through. But we're about to find out now who he'll be coming up against in the final 4, as we have 2 very talented, very consistent and very strong battle drivers. It's Justin Murphy and Bartek Blazensky.
Yeah, who he'll be coming up against in the Grade 8 in the next round, Adam, sorry. But yeah, it is Bartek, the higher qualifier, leads us in. Justin Murphy with the higher powered car is right there with him, sacrificing that outside line in order to find the pocket. Let's see if it works out for him in the eyes of the judges, because they want to see them really mimicking the line of the lead car as well. Now Bartek making that car look like it has far more than 300 brake horsepower, but Justin Murphy now with the JZ power in his E36, really turning the screw here and putting foot to floor as they cross the line, and that's a great one from both drivers.
This is exactly what we said throughout qualifying. Justin Murphy didn't put down the strongest of scores, but battle action is really where he shines through. Look at this, he's very good in managing to keep that JZ powered E36 held back from Bartek, who is quite a lot less power than him, if not half the power of what Justin Murphy is running. But there's no point in not saying it though. Bartek does make that car look like he has more power than what it does, and has a lot of pace.
Yeah, well, interestingly here, guys, Justin Murphy is leading the championship here in Pro 2. He's got 138 points coming into this round. Bartek is in 11th, so this one has big championship implications. In second place in the championship, it's Dylan Wilson, and in third, it is Jake McElveen. So, yeah, I mean, Dylan Wilson is still in the hunt. Jake McElveen is still in the hunt. David Ford is in fourth. He's out. Jamie Hines is in fifth. He's out. So, yeah, this could be a championship shake-up job here if Justin Murphy doesn't take the win here, but he's about to lead us in here. And Bartek Blazensky, can he make the underpowered car stick to the door of the JZ powered E36? It doesn't look like it so far here, Adam.
It does look like he's struggling quite a bit. Now's his opportunity there to make a dive, but it looks like unfortunately it fumbled for him, having taken it inside the track. And Justin Murphy using this opportunity to use all the power, put it to them back wheels. Oh, missing a lot of zone 5 there, Justin Murphy, but I don't think that is going to make too much of a difference here. Bartek Blazensky completely lost in the smoke now. Oh, it's such a shame. It could have been a really good battle we could have seen there with Bartek on his opportunity in the decel zone in zone 3. Didn't make that dive, or just it didn't work out the way it was meant to for him.
I think he was a little bit lost in the smoke. You get a couple of car lengths back and you get white out in the smoke. It's the worst place to be. You know, you're much better off being as close as possible. Yeah, so I think a little bit of a horsepower deficit there to Bartek, and overall Murphy having the car gripped up. Guys, give us a wave there across the way as well if you're enjoying yourself between us and the lawnmower racing. Hope you're all having a good time here at IDS Round 3 Pro 2. And give us all a wave and we'll get you on camera there. And remember, guys, for pro competition tomorrow, everything's going to get turned up to 11, and be sure to join us if you are in the vicinity or within travelling distance here of Bishopscourt. It is always a great show, and we have, of course, trade stalls. We have Lightning McQueen from Cars, a full life size one.
Ka-chow.
I've never watched Cars, actually, the movie.
What?
Yeah, I gotta watch it. But
oh, Mike, man. I used to have a lot of respect for you up until about 2 minutes ago, but a man I do have a lot of respect for is Justin Murphy, who's after taking a spot in the Grade 8, knocking out Bartek. Justin Murphy taking the win on that one. Well deserved. Bartek, we'll be seeing a lot more of him, as I said before. The Drift Mafia sponsored, self-sponsored, you could say, with his family's business, a sponsor of this year. He's such a great young talent. Not much power in that car, but he makes it work. And has all the top bells and whistles though from Drift Mafia.
Well, they're just going to have to drop in a 2J for next season. It's as simple as that.
Well, he didn't like them tyres anyways, I'll tell you that, Mike.
No, he didn't like those. They're gone. Yeah. But yeah, he's going to have to just go 2J or something like that next year, and simple as that, or turbo that engine possibly. Now we move it back to the line, and it is none other than Dave Richards and Peter Malloy, extremely closely matched cars here. M54 versus S54, so you'd have to fancy Malloy with a bit of a horsepower advantage here, but Richards knows how to make this one work. He fires in his M54 powered E46. Oh, he's caught in the pocket here. Can he make it work? Oh, he does. What a transition from Richards. Look at this. He gets caught on the inside a little bit, but wow, he timed that to absolute perfection, and he has to here. He's out-carred very slightly, but what a pair of runs from both drivers here, Adam.
That is for sure. Peter Malloy doing exactly what Peter Malloy always does, that Malloy's doing in general in the lead position there, and David Richards trying to do everything he can. A lot of aggression there from him. Fair juice to him on that transition before zone 3 there. We thought we lost him, but somehow he came back out of it, making the dive.
Yeah.
You could really see here the experience of David Richards from all the track driving he does down in Kerry, chasing cars that are faster than him and so on, where to position himself on track, going a small bit shallower on the line to try just have the opportunity for them dives and stuff, but dropping tyres here then in the last zones we can see the replay actually.
Yeah, the one criticism I can have of Richards there as well is he just got caught in the pocket a small bit before the last transition and kind of sacrificed the timing of his transition and found himself over towards the right hand side of the track a little bit because he transitioned a bit late. So yeah, slight disadvantage to Richards, I would say, after that. But let's see now. We swap them around, lead becomes chase, and we do it all over again.
We sure do. Peter Malloy, he's always aggressive in the chase as well. Look at this, exactly as I just said. And he makes a dive here now on zone 3. Richards has all the pressure on him to put down an incredible lead run, and he's doing quite a good job of it so far as he fills all his zone 3 with loads of door-to-door action there from Peter Malloy as he gets right up on top of him. David Richards putting it right out to the edge of the track, but Peter Malloy is right there in the pocket.
Yeah, I think Malloy's car just with the M3 engine there as opposed to the M54, that extra, whatever it might be, 50 horsepower, whatever BMW decided they want to give the M3 over the 330 might have just been enough there, and really good driving as well from the County Down man. Guys, round of applause for Dave Richards and Peter Malloy putting in a great pair of runs there in the BMWs. And they're both delighted. But guys, it is indeed Peter Malloy who wins and books his place in the Great 8. Valiant effort there from Dave Richards.
He looks happy with that one now,
Yeah.
to be fair. He knows that was a good battle. He knows where it went, but
he had to do what he did there as well, Adam. He had to overcome it.
He knew he gave it his best shot.
He did, exactly. And you'd rather go out swinging than, go out meagerly. So, I mean, great run there from Richards. He'll be happy with his performance. And Malloy goes on, and we go over to the next battle, and it is Niall McInerney versus Dylan Wilson.
It sure is, Mike.
So Niall McInerney to let's see, Dylan Wilson.
It is.
Sorry, higher qualifier.
Yeah, Dylan Wilson lead position here, being chased down by Niall McInerney. Bit of a gap on power on these two cars. Not too much though. A modern BMW taking on a more old school BMW, so you could say an E36. Wilson here just doing what Wilson does. Look at him, a pilot, as we say, come in the pilot. Wilson in the lead position, right there, dragging the handbrake to get out to the edge of zone 5 and doing so. Niall McInerney right there with him the whole way through. Maybe not the closest of proximities, but keeping it on the door as much as he can.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you consider an E36 an old school chassis now? But like, you've had the E46, E92, then the F chassis, now the G chassis. So yeah, there's a lot of generations since, so it is an old school BMW. They're pretty much both old school BMWs now almost. The 92 has been, it's coming on for 20 years old now as well. So yeah, I mean, it's 2007 they came out, E92. I have one.
Jeez, now I feel old.
Yeah.
I'm the young one here.
I have one. They came out 19 years ago, yeah. So they're both pretty much old school BMWs at this stage, but the 36 definitely the one becoming classic, coming straight after the 30, of course. So yeah, we are here to watch the drifting, not give BMW history of the 3 Series though. But if anyone is out there with a 435D, let me know how they are, because I really
it's all you've been since you arrived at our Airbnb last night. You're just showing me photos of it.
435D, I just want one. Let me know if they're as good as people say. I want a 600 foot-pounds road car.
Well, we won't talk about the 435D. We're going to talk about the E36 and the Turkey Fighter that's down there on track. Niall McInerney in the lead position. Dylan Wilson right there with him. Look at this for a run so far. Niall McInerney nice and wide throughout the whole thing there. Nearly going into tires though, I'd say. Maybe not the most round approach to zone 3 there. Not too sure what way it went through zone 4. Couldn't see with all the tire smoke these two cars. Got loads of tire smoke around Bishopscourt here. as we can see him cross the line and finish out that second half. And looking a small bit scrappy, but quite consistent from both drivers.
Yeah, Dylan Wilson's 2J is going to be praying that he gets knocked out here because, like I said earlier, I think he sounds a bit under-geared, and the vibration and the noise as they pass us here in the container is absolutely crazy.
Niall McInerney does have an aggressive sounding car though.
Yeah, the noise of both these cars as they pass us here is just nuts, but Wilson especially just revving the brains out of his 2J, and yeah, making it work up here though on Bishopscourt. And judges having a look at this one once again in discussion, and I see nods of the head here from Tomas Falvey, of course. We have Tomas Falvey, Tom Murphy and Mr. Kieran Hines as the 3 judges residing today, and it is Dylan Wilson working his 2J extremely difficult or extremely hard, who is the winner, and Niall McInerney bows out of competition. So Dylan Wilson currently up there in the championship in 2nd position alongside Justin Murphy. Those two could meet in the semi-final as well, but they have to get through a couple of tough battles first. So guys, it's heating up here for the championship already at round 3 of Pro2 action in the Irish Drift Series, of course sponsored by Red Bull and Lucky Day competitions this year.
That's for sure. Move on to the second side of our top 16. Going into our group, who gets this goes into our grey 8 now. It is Andrew Kenna in the lead position, chased down by Ross Patterson. Andrew Kenna is absolutely on fire today. Look at this, right up against the wall, coming into zone 3 there. Huge dive, but Ross Patterson did the exact same thing, stayed with him as proximity now opens up after zone 4 and all the way through 5 here. Ross Patterson taking the inside approach now to try to get up onto the door of Andrew Kenna, but Andrew Kenna is on fire.
Yeah, Andrew Kenna there, thankfully. Andrew Kenna using the wall there as a bit of a break. I think it worked out for him because he was coming in hot into zone 3. Really nice line from the lead driver there. As Patterson finds himself on the inside of the track, just look there, he grazed the back of the Altezza off the wall, used it as a bit of a break, helped him out a little bit, I think. Pretty much perfect lead run all the way through here from Kenna. Like Patterson on the inside of the track quite a lot. So I think it's a really big advantage here to Kildare men going into the second run.
I think so too, Mike, because you said there it's perfect lead run there from Kenna. It's basically a qualifying run is what he just put down there.
He was in double 90s in qualifying as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what he repeated there. So what way is he going to be in the chase here now as he chases down Ross Patterson? Is he 46? Ross Patterson initiating just a small bit early there, I'd say, but making it work for himself into zones 1 and 2. Andrew Kenna not exactly pushing right up there where maybe he should do. Maybe he's playing a bit too safe. I'm not too sure. He has the power to do so as he makes a dive now for zone 5 before crossing the line, taking the inside approach as well through Ross Patterson. Ross Patterson having a bit of an advantage here on pace somehow on Kenna.
Yeah, absolutely. Strangely enough, probably not what we expected to see, but sometimes this IS/Altezza chassis can be a bit difficult on certain tracks to get it to really put down the power. Even though it's a wishbone type setup, traditionally those are quite fast, but obviously they differ a bit. They're relatively closely related to the Chaser, and they are actually exactly the same as the JSLX 110 underneath. Yeah, same.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, same coilovers and all, exactly, but I would imagine different wheelbase and stuff. But yeah, hugs all around, guys, for the drivers. Round of applause for Kenna and Patterson there, guys, putting on a show here in Pro2. Once again, if you're joining us, you're very welcome, and thank you for joining us. We are here for Pro2 action at IDS Round 3 2026 in Bishopscourt, and we'll be ready for Pro action tomorrow. And a guy who will get a chance to go into Pro action tomorrow, it's Andrew Kenna, who takes the win, booking his place in the Grade 8, booking his place also automatically in Pro competition tomorrow.
That's for sure, Mike, and that car is well capable of Pro competition, so we'll have to see how that goes for him as we're back to the line now with our next battle, which is going to be quite another. This is going to be a tight one, to be honest, Mike. It's Jake McAveen on Erkis Navskas. You would say on paper Jake McAveen is going to take this, but Erkis Navskas is looking very, very strong.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, you know, these guys won't have wanted to meet each other this early, but I mean, if you look at the rest of the bracket, there's actually no one easy left here at the top 16 on the right-hand side, so it is what it is. You just got to beat the best to be the best, and one of the best is Jake McAveen there, losing a tiny bit of angle before he gets ready for the transition, but overall, really nice lead line there from the Northern Irish driver, as Ericus now puts foot to the floor in the E46. He has all the grip in that chassis. He's got that car really dialed in over the past couple of seasons with the turbo BMW. But you know what? He just shuts it down. Ericus shuts it down, loses drive, regains it again, but yeah, loses drive, and Navicus has a problem here.
What happens there, Mike? Zone 5 really seems to be the killer for everyone throughout qualifying and now in battle action as well. Ericus, I was looking at him there, I was like, is he playing it safe? Is he playing it too safe? What is going on? Usually would see him right up on the door of whoever's in the lead position. Jake McElveen just doing Jake McElveen things, to be honest, putting on a great run really wide on the outside line, painting those white lines with tyre marks. But Eric is shutting it down on 5 there. I can't see anything exactly what caused it. We see our marshal talking to him there, so obviously maybe a bit of a mechanical, the ECU shutting it down or something. Pulling off track now, maybe calling a 5-minute rule, I would assume.
Yeah, of course. A 5-minute rule is available to all competitors in the event of a mechanical issue needing to be fixed. They have one 5-minute rule per round, but if they get as far as the top 4, they unlock another 5-minute rule, even if they have already called one, just in the interest of, you know, the cars getting extremely hot in the final 4, etc., and the battles coming thick and fast. So another 5-minute rule is unlocked, but Ericus Navicus is indeed calling a 5-minute rule, we're told, and that will start as soon as the car is either safely up on the jack stands or as soon as the bonnet is opened.
That's for sure, Mike. And while we have this opportunity, while our next battle is warming up their tyres, I want to give a huge shout out to the people that are making this possible. First off, yourself, you, if you're watching or if you're here in attendance, thank you very much for doing so, because this would not be possible without you. As well to our sponsors, especially our title sponsors, Lucky Day Competitions and Red Bull Energy. Without those two, the Drift Series would not be where it is right now, as well as all our other sponsors as well. Kenda Tires, Drift Mafia, Strom Wheels, GMD Tire Centre, Eugen Factory, who produced the stunning trophies that we're going to see today at the line. I can see the Red Bull ring there at the line waving at me earlier. I thought I was going to go down. Group D, where you come from, Mike. Turn Tire Distribution, Max Flow, Exemplar, Exact Science and Lexi Brake. Without all of you guys, this would not be possible, so thank you very, very much for supporting the Irish Drift Series, the only Irish drift competition from Correct Sunset. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. We did have several before, you know, a couple of entry series drift in Iron. We had Ultimate Drift and Super Drift and that kind of thing, but yeah, this is the only series now. You just got to go straight into the deep end in competition here in IDS.
That's for sure. We're going to our next battle now as we see Max Heineken, the lower powered car, about 200 brake horsepower difference in these two cars, leading us in, chase down by Maximus. Max Heineken on fire all day, looking incredible, and he's doing so right now as he roars that PS13 past the tower here, right on our edge, all the way through zone 3, but Maximus is right there with him. He's not holding back. He's getting up onto the door of that PS13, fulfilling every zone, matching him on angle as best he possibly can, but Max Heinzen's giving him them opportunities to do so. A really close battle there.
Yeah, like you said, Marcus Heinen is leaving the door open with that really good lead run, giving Max the opportunity to get on the door. Max a little bit tight, as many drivers are in the chase position, around 1 to 2. But, you know, I don't know a lot about Max, actually. I got to maybe catch him in the pits later on, and it'll be easy to find him in this E92. But he's a really good driver, actually, and super aggressive, liking his style, liking his chasing. And, yeah, definitely putting Marcus Heinen under pressure here for the second half of the run.
That's for sure. Max Heinen is going to have to live up to quite a lot here now. Maximus has come in today, his first time competing this year, from sure as I was saying. Not a rookie driver, competing in the past. But today looking like he's absolutely on fire for his first stint of the 2026 season as he leads us in here now. Can Max Heineken return the favour and get right up onto the door of that BMW E92? Look at the angle here coming through zone 3. That was very picturesque. I'm sure our media team's got a lovely photo of that. Maximus putting it right out into zone 4, and Max Heineken making a dive to get right up onto the door. Marcus shutting it down though, just a small bit on zone 5, really losing out there. That's going to be the deciding factor, Mike.
Yeah, Marcus Heinen there. Oh, he's going to be devastated with that, because the winner of this battle gets a chance to go through to pro competition tomorrow. And yeah, shutting it down there in the chase position, as you said. judges will just have to verify that it wasn't an issue caused by the lead car doing something funny. But guys, both of them out of the cars, and we can announce going through to the Great 8, booking his place in Pro competition tomorrow as well. It is Maximus Baguzis with the M54 powered 750 horsepower E92. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, big old turbo strap to the side of that. I'm going to check that car out later, Adam. That's an interesting build and driver. But Marcus Heinen, unfortunately for the man from County Cork, unfortunately with a mistake or a mechanical there and pulling out of the last part of the corner there, and that is all she wrote for Marcus. And we got onto the line, and it has to be the battle between Andrew Malloy and Owen Foran to see who will join Max in the Great 8.
That's for sure. This is going to be another interesting one now, Mike. Owen Foran, not as experienced in competition as Andrew Malloy, but Andrew Malloy maybe not having as much pace what Owen Foran has.
Exactly.
But he does make that BMW work. Stunning looking BMW as he initiates here into zones 1 and 2. But Owen Foran right there with him, maybe washing a small bit wide, struggling to keep up with the BMW somehow, small bit, or maybe just not managing to slow down the car to the pace. Here you can see the experience of the two drivers coming into play as Owen Foran makes a dive for Andrew Malloy, but Andrew Malloy just continues on as if it's a qualifying run, putting down an unreal lead line, and Owen Foran right there behind him.
Yeah, well, you mentioned about pace of Malloy. I mean, I don't think it's a pace difference. I think it's a power difference, and there is a difference in the two things. Like, really great drivers will find a way in the chase position there of accelerating until the last second, then getting on the foot brake as well as the handbrake, and they'll get the car to pivot on the foot brake, and they'll make the dive, but they'll do it like really smoothly. So you'll see the top FD guys, the top Drift Masters guys, they'll close that gap. They'll get on the foot brake, but they'll do it in a way that's like really fluid and still with good style, but they'll brake really hard last minute and make it work. Unfortunately, Foran didn't take the advantage there fully, and I think both cars are a similar pace here. So, you know, you have to outdrive once again. You have to outdrive the Malloys. You're not just going to rely on outcarrying them.
That's, as you said earlier on, Mike, the Malloys never beat themselves. As we can see, Owen Foran here doing everything he can to put down a great lead run. He is doing so, but Andrew Malloy is taking full advantage of that as he's right there up across on the door for zone 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Malloy is just so consistent. Owen Foran here, I mean, I'm a big fan of his driving. He's coming on in leaps and bounds every round. He's looking really good here in the lead, but look at this from, I mean, the man in the underpowered car once again, Andrew Malloy. I'm so impressed by how they find the grip, how they find the power in these cars, which by right have no business being in the same league as the higher powered Nissans, but they are. And that's the reason that they are some of the top guys in this championship. And, you know, let's not be surprised if we see them battling for championship honours in a series that drops one round out of 6, so the top 5.
That's for sure, Mike. Andrew Malloy's car, no livery, no nothing. There's just something about that car. It just looks absolutely outstanding, and I'm glad, because I'm going to be seeing it again now as we go in, bringing Andrew Malloy into our Grade 8, taking on Maximus Barguges. Big pace difference there in them two cars, but Andrew Malloy taking the win on that one. Unfortunately, that's the last we'll be seeing of Owen Foran for today, but a pat on the back to him as his driving has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost as good as his pizzas.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his driving, and I got a call into Dole Mama Pizza in Listowel some night. If you're back in that direction, or if you're visiting maybe Ballybunion Beach or whatever, be sure to nip over the road to Owen and support him to keep his drifting going, because it is expensive and he's going to have to sell a lot of pizzas to fund this unfortunate addiction which we've all fallen into.
That is for sure, Mike. As we can see the one more time, or sorry, not the one more time, the second half of our battle between Jake McElvey and Ericus Navskaz lining up there for us.
Yeah,
oh no, I do apologise. I don't think so. Maybe we're moving on to our Grade 8 for now.
Yeah, we're moving on to the Grade 8 for now. We'll get back to that last run in the top 16, but we are going to keep the action coming here at round 3 in Bishopscourt. It is top place qualifier and the man of the moment, Jack Mulville, to take on the top man in the championship, Justin Murphy. What a huge battle this is, Adam. This could be a championship decider at this stage of the season already.
That is for sure. The junior driver, Jack Mulville, 15 years of age.
Yeah, 15 years of age.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff.
In his own championship still, you know, within the rookie championship, obviously, or the junior championship, obviously. But for all the world, a top seasoned Pro 2 driver. Let me just see where he is in the championship now. Jack Mulvihill sits in 10th in the championship.
We'll check that out afterwards, Mike, because they're both leaving the line right now, because Jack Mulvihill, our higher qualifier, is leading us in, chased down by Justin Murphy, the number 1 spot on the championship at the moment in the Pro 2s. But Jack Mulvihill, like, just can't even get over how he's driving today. And every round, whenever he's in that Sylvia, looks so comfortable, as the place is absolutely filled with smoke with these 2 high-powered cars. Justin Murphy trying to keep up with the young Jack Mulvihill. Justin Murphy's a great chase driver, but Jack is just getting away from him here, and he's not got the pace to keep up with him.
Well, Jack Mulvihill is doing in an S14.9 what the Malloys are doing in their BMWs, in that he's super consistent and he's doing it every time and time again. He's hitting the same couple of inches of tarmac like Dylan Wilson does, like the Malloys do, but I think he's just doing it with the pace of the 2J Sylvia that the 2J Sylvia build has, with the sequential, with the quick change. The gearing is right, your gear changes, you're not going to miss a gear. And if he keeps going like this, he's going to win the event. And that's pretty much it, if he keeps going like this. But it's a big ask to keep going like this, because this is way more difficult to do than what he's making it look. So it's interesting here. Mulvihill is down in 10th in the championship. He's not had the best start in Pro 2 because of car reliability issues, using his 350Z, not using this car. This car is not working. He's showing us what he can do. He's up against the top guy in the championship, and right now you have to say that Murphy's chase run was not great. And yeah, so I think Mulvihill is looking good here if he can put in a nice tidy chase.
I think he might just take down the number 1 spot on the Pro 2 Championships, but if I know Justin Murphy, he's going to go full aggression here now in the lead position. He does so. Look at him as he uses every pony in that engine to pull away from Jack Mulvihill. Jack Mulvihill maybe getting a bit surprised by making the dive now here and gets right back onto line throughout Zone 3, where we're seeing all the drama happening. Now to go through Zone 4, Jack Mulvihill. Bit of a stumble there before 5, but he's there with him, missing Zone 5 for the chase driver, but not making it exactly the best way here for the last 2 zones. Justin Murphy just really trying to push away there. This could be a one more time, I think.
Yeah, it could be. I want to see the start line again, actually, just exactly what happened Mulvihill here in the chase position, because he definitely has the power and he has the gear changing to keep right there with Murphy. Maybe he just lost grip, or maybe he didn't get off the line in time, or whatever, but there was a big difference in proximity on initiation. Now, I think overall Mulvihill might have actually had a better line, and if you look at lead versus lead, I think it was relatively close, but Mulvihill had a perfect lead. But there was a big separation, and Justin Murphy takes the win, guys. Justin Murphy wins. And Mulvihill there, unfortunately, was looking great after the first run, but just got caught out a little bit off the start line, and Justin Murphy continues his championship charge.
That's for sure. He looks very happy there getting back into the car. He knew Jack Mulvihill was a strong contender to take him down, so he knew he had it up to him. But I really do think on the second half of that run, zones 5 and 6 were the deciding factor. Jack's mistakes there were just that much to unfortunately lead it towards Justin.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Justin Murphy's in this championship a long time. He's been knocking on the door a long time. I'd be delighted to see him winning this championship, but sad to lose Jack Mulvihill. I thought he was going to go all the way, but unfortunately, again, commentator's curse, he just made a few mistakes in that one, enough to knock him out. We move it along to our second battle in the Great 8. It's the second half of the top 16 battle. Yeah,
it sure is, Mike. Our last battle of the top 16 here. Ericus, who had to call a 5-minute rule there, down to Mechanical, shutting it down while he was in chase position, tasting down young Jake McElveen, who put down an unreal lead one. Ericus here obviously having the car sorted, putting down a great run as well, but it's going to be enough to take it away from Jake McElveen. Jake playing it quite safe there. He knows things are facing towards him after that first run as they both cross the line. I think that Mechanical is just going to be the issue.
Yeah, I have to agree. There was nothing in this battle which would make me think that there was enough for Ericus to overturn what happened in the first run. If we think back, Jake McElveen, knowing that, didn't try to commit himself to the point that he made a mistake or whatever. Intelligent run there from the County Down men. And yeah, Stephen will have been, or whoever the spotter is, will have been on the radio saying, just hang back here, buddy. He had a Mechanical. You don't have to overcommit here. Don't make a mistake. And indeed, it is Jake McElveen, guys, books his place in the Grade 8, I believe. Yeah, the Grade 8. I'm getting confused there. But Ericus Navicus, unfortunately, having mechanical, one of the stalwarts of this championship, one of the cornerstones of Pro 2, bowing out in top 16 action. So that will be Andrew Kinnett to face off against Jake McElveen. And we will have Maximus Bagudzits versus Andrew Malloy on the right hand side. But not before we get through Dylan Wilson versus Peter Malloy. And this one is going to be spicy.
I don't know what way this one's going to go.
No, it's power versus control here.
But Dylan Wilson is also very, very consistent today. Like I can't see how either, like,
the Malloys find that grip. The Malloys have
they
that
find
balance.
it somehow.
They've got the balance that John McCarthy had in the BMWs of 10 years ago. You know, the M3 engines, they just have the throttle response, the naturally aspirated throttle response. It's sharp. If you need it, it's there. You can clutch kick it, and it gets you out of trouble if you're gripping up whatever. You don't have turbo lag to deal with, but they still have the grip dialed in. So they have the package. They don't have the power, but they have the package. Whereas Wilson has the big 2J, and he has the sheer and utter grunt. And it's one versus the other here. It's opposite ways of doing things, but they both end up pretty good packages. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one ends up.
Well, we're going to find out right now, Mike, as Peter Malloy leads us in, chased down by Dylan Wilson. It's going to be a very interesting battle. Peter Malloy right there on the edge of the track, painting them white lines with tyre marks, and Dylan Wilson's right there with him. He's got aggression this time as well. Dylan the Pilot Wilson, I'm nicknaming him that. Yes, I am. Peter Malloy getting right out there, a bit of a dab on the handbrake before zone 5 on the correct line there, giving Dylan Wilson every single opportunity to get right up on the door. I don't know how we're going to separate these two.
Well, if you're nicknaming Wilson, I'm nicknaming Peter Perfect, because he never makes a mistake. He never makes a mistake, and his car is always perfect. So Peter Perfect here, Mr. Perfect, doing a fantastic lead line. What did you nickname Wilson?
Dylan the Pilot Wilson.
The Pilot, okay.
Honestly,
yeah, the Pilot is, the Pilot.
I saw an AI photo of him in a fighter jet suit, and it makes sense.
He did try to get airborne or watercress, to be fair.
It's going to stick. It's going to stick.
Peter Perfect with a perfect Peter Perfect lead run. So, yeah, Dylan the Pilot Wilson looking that E92 looking like an aircraft almost in the left lane. But Peter Malloy with the long trip over to Castlewellan, 25 minutes. The hilly town there looked like a great pub actually. I passed through there last night. There was a lot of activity there. I'd be tempted now to.
We'll have to do a bit of research later on, Mike. So we're going to do some research on this right now. As the Pilot leads us in, chased down by Mr. Perfect, and look at this for perfection from Mr. Perfect. He's right up on the door of the Pilot. The Pilot gets right out there, up against the wall, taking the rear bumper off the car for zone 3. But Mr. Perfect's right there with him. How is he doing this? There should be a massive pace difference in these cars, but he's not letting it affect him. The Pilot pushes right out to the edge, giving him every single opportunity. But Mr. Perfect is right there with him every single step of the way. Incredible stuff from Mr. Pilot and Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, what a pair of runs. That's absolutely perfect. Guys, this is a Pro 2 Grade 8 and worthy of a Pro final.
Look at the aggression there on through 1 to 2 from Mr. Perfect, right up on the door, leaving marks.
Yeah, well, he knew. You know, it's actually 4th versus 5th place in qualifying as well, so incredibly closely matched lead run abilities from both of these guys. Just as the higher qualifier, again, the little advantage of leading first showing here, because Peter knew that he really, really had to push after the last run, and he did go into the reserves there. Obviously, he made contact around the first corner, but gentle contact, which didn't result in any corrections. So I think the judges are going to reward that rather than penalise him for it.
If the judges are my friends, they're going to do this one more time, because I want to see that one more time.
I want to see it again as well, yeah. But I mean, the aggression from both of these guys has been absolutely fantastic to see. It's a Grade 8 from a top 32 in Pro 2. Judges even needing to see this again. So the consistency here from Wilson is the thing we want to watch here. He's maintaining pretty much a uniform proximity throughout the whole run, and he's matching like pretty much line for line, angle for angle, what Malloy is doing. Now, it's really consistent and it's really good to watch. Now, you swap them around, and I think the two lead runs are very similar, to be fair. But watch this from Malloy. Now, Malloy's not as consistent. He makes contact. He pushes away now for a second. but he's aggressive. He comes in once again here now. He starts to dive. He's slightly on the inside of the track. He almost makes contact again, but he's not matching the angle perfectly. He's a little bit shallow to make up the gap. So are the judges going to reward, because we assume that the 2 lead runs are quite close, I think. I'd like to see them again to make a final decision on that, but let's say the 2 lead runs are pretty much identical because they both looked great. Are they going to reward the consistency of Wilson or the sheer aggression of Malloy?
Just give it one more time. Come on.
Yeah, I'd be okay, but we're not going to see one more time, guys, because Peter Malloy has booked his place in the final 4, guys, against Justin Murphy. And Dylan Wilson bows out in the Great 8, but we'll see him ready to rock for action in Pro competition tomorrow, and that car is more than up to the task of semi-slick tyres and Pro competition, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. But judges rewarding the aggression there of Malloy, and I have to say I liked it.
I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Unfortunately, that's the last we'll see of the pilot for today, but Mr. Perfect will be right back with us.
He will indeed. Will he take out the championship leader Murphy? Because yeah, it's 5 rounds out of 6, guys. Remember that. And even if you did miss a round or had a bad round, you could still be in the championship running.
Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. As we wait for our drivers to get ready on the line. Our next battle should be Andrew Canna and Jake McElveen. And that's going to be a very interesting one. Evenly matched pace, I would say, but Andrew Canna. Realistically, after the last couple of rounds, you would say Jake McElveen's going to take this.
Well, yeah, but Andrew Kin is kind of like a different guy today, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's done to himself. Maybe he just likes it up north here. I'm not too sure. But this weekend, practice yesterday, everything. The lad is on fire.
Can we get a big wave there from Catcha Darren? Catch it, Darren. Big wave. And all the guys, thank you very much.
Who's that man with the lovely beard?
Great. Well, it must be Matt.
It must be.
It must be Matt. And there we have it. The beautiful Matt Darren ready for pro action tomorrow in his BMW. Of course, enjoying the late summer sunshine here in Bishopscourt. Great shots there on the live stream.
That's for sure. As I look at a few of the comments here, a lot of people amazed by that last battle as well. A few of them saying just give it to Peter because having the lower powered car and stuff, and he really did deserve it, and our judges did see that as well, especially with that aggression. But such a close one to call as well. A huge shout out to everyone tuning in. We see Sergeant Ducky tuning in as well, a very popular YouTuber. A lot of people have seen, if you haven't seen his video about the IDS and the characters in it, the behind the scenes, definitely check that out. It's a little animated video. It's great crack, and I get kind of done dirty in it now, to be honest, with a big fringe and everything, but sure, look, it's good crack. Huge shout out to everyone. Jim, Mr. Tomato Sam, Jack, Bugsy, all the lads tuning in.
All the lads.
All the lads. You know, nearly 600 viewers on it for the Pro2 Championship on a Saturday, a nice Saturday as well. You could be out in a beer garden, but no, you're watching the drifting, and I don't blame you because this action is incredible.
Yeah, like I said, once you get to Grade 8 in Pro2, it really, really gets good. Sometimes the top 32 can be a bit sketchy because you have some guys, you know, qualifying that might have just put in a lucky lap at times and stuff, so it can tend to throw up a couple of inconsistent battles, but once you get down to the Grade 8, it's always good. And remember as well, guys, we are ready to rock for pro competition tomorrow here. The guys have been practicing all weekend. You will see the best of domestic drivers in Ireland, including Dylan Garvey, Jakub Chiszczak, and etc., etc. All those guys, you know, we could keep going, but there's just a top roster of drivers here tomorrow where we will turn the action and the speed as well way up from semi-pro, because the tyre that's used in the pro competition is completely different level in terms of grip, so the cars have to be faster, and it's visually actually a faster competition. So be sure to tune in if you're enjoying it today, but if you are watching semi-pro, you're probably into drifting anyway, so be sure to watch pro competition tomorrow. We'll be on air from, I think it's 11 qualifying tomorrow, is it?
It's early enough, anyways, be around that time, around 11 p.m.
It's early enough to make
as I thought someone was, a fly was on my head or something, but it's Kieran Hines, our head judge here behind me.
Our 9 head judge, Kieran Hines.
Poking and picking at me. I thought I was going to get through one day without it.
No, well, he hasn't gone at me yet, but he's always just doing stuff to put me off on a break. So the judge is stretching the legs as we wait for cars to get retired.
That's for sure. As he spoke about tomorrow as well, Mike, don't forget there'll be loads of other action happening here. If drifting isn't your niche, there'll be more of the lawnmower racing as well, in case you want to see a few lads not cutting grass but absolutely sending it full send on a few lawnmowers.
Yeah, there's a show and shine as well.
There's a show and shine hosted by Port Car Scene, so there'll be loads of nice cool things to be seeing at that, as well as passenger spins. I was about to get there. Lad.
Well, just,
Bit of diffing as well.
You're taking your
A few
pick.
rings, lad.
There is a bit of diffing,
You
exactly.
know, so that'll be cool to see. And the passenger spins, as you said, you might have the opportunity to sit into one of these pro spec drift cars in the passenger seat, go around this track, this exact layout, and experience what it's like to be flicking in around those zones at high speeds. It's an incredible experience. If you've not done it yet, you need to. So your opportunity to win that, you can only do that by being here. I announced our competition winner earlier on our social media and live on stream. So if that was you, make sure if you enter that, make sure to go check that it was yourself.
Yeah, just at the
If it
end
wasn't
of the
yourself.
qualifying stream there. So just after we announced the qualifying score, so you can go back on YouTube, watch that one back, and get your results if you enter that competition. Adam called it out, and we are getting cars out on track. You can see them there, the individual burnout boxes, warming the rear tires up to temperature and getting the fronts up as well and scrubbed in.
That's for sure. I see a few people asking about the lawnmowers at the present moment as well. I think they're all pulled in. They're going to do a bit of strimming or something instead at the moment, because I don't see the lawnmowers going. So.
I might actually genuinely try and have a quick go on that and hurt myself. New
I
commentator
wonder if
tomorrow.
I wonder if we walked over and the two of us were like, look, we're the commentators.
Give us a
You
go.
know, maybe use that as a bit of leverage might work. Maybe they might tell us that F off or something. But
Give us a go your lawnmower, buddy.
yeah, can I cut your grass, like?
Right. So we go back, and who do we have? Where are we? We're with Justin Murphy.
We're
to Peter
Bishopscourt,
Malloy.
County Down.
We're not. We're on the right-hand side of the bracket. We're with Andrew Kinna and Jake McElveen, I believe, if I identified him correctly, and I do. So it is Andrew Kinna qualifying in second position as well, picking up 10 championship points as a result as well. So he is looking good here. Jake McElveen, though, doesn't make mistakes. Let's see. It is Kildare versus County Down. And it's a nice entry once again from Kinna there, doing a great entry. He's doing it all weekend here, Adam. He's looking really good.
He sure is, but Jake McElveen's doing what he's doing all weekend, and that consistency right up on the door of Andrew Kinna. Andrew Kinna is giving him every single opportunity for that, though. Look at his transition here now for zone 5, nearly touching rear bumper, the front bumper, as they cross into the final zone. Lots of smoke from these two cars. Looked a small bit shallow there. I couldn't tell with all the smoke, but looked a small bit shallow. I mean, not deep into zone 6. And we can see the replay here now. Lovely outside line from Andrew Kinna in the lead position. Jake McElveen again right up on the door for zone 3.
Yeah,
Lovely, and right on our edge as well, all the way through 3 there as well, and into 4.
Andrew Kinna won't mind me saying this, but all along he had the car and he had the aggression, always great showman, but he always had the mistake in him. Now the thing is,
he left a mistake at home this
he
weekend.
left the mistakes at home this weekend. He really, really did. He just really looks good, and he won't mind me saying that because he'll know it himself that he had the aggression, but as a result from the hard driving, possibly overdriving this chassis at times as they continue to develop it, it can cause mistakes, but the mistakes seem to be left at home, like you said, as we look down the runway here, the old World War II airfield here in Northern Ireland. And we're ready to rock, and Jake McElveen now leads us in.
He sure does, Mike. Look at this entry here from McElveen right out on the edge, painting them tire marks on the white line, but Andrew Kinna right there with him. No mistakes from him. Yeah, I really hope I don't do commentator's curse here, because I'll never hear the end of it. Jake McElveen right out to the edge of the track for each and every single zone, but Andrew Kinna is right there with him. Look at this. Jake McElveen somehow getting a push away there in proximity, and Andrew Kinna trying to deal with it as they finish out the second half of that run. 5 and 6 where these mistakes keep happening, Mike, and I think this is where the deciding factor on this battle is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. As our screen goes black here for a second, but it comes back. So yeah, 5 to 6 is and 3 as well, of course, is quite a common mistake area. Big shout out as well to Automatic Fred there for Stephen Halford giving me a shout on the gram. So I'm not sure who Automatic Fred is, but a big shout out to you, buddy. And hoping you're doing well, whoever you are. Hope I haven't said the wrong thing there now. For Stephen Halford dropping me in it, but Automatic Fred, big shout out to you. And we wait for the judge's decision to drop in here on a tight battle between McElveen and Kinna, and it is Jake McElveen, guys, goes through to the final 4 to the delight of the crowd here underneath us, and Andrew Kinna will be delighted with his with his day, and I think if he gets the semi-slicks for tomorrow, I think it's really going to suit that chassis. So I think, you know, if he gets the sticky tyre on that, he'll be looking good tomorrow. And he has the horsepower already there at 700, so he'll be good for tomorrow. Now, another pair of guys in for tomorrow, it is Max Bagudzis versus Andrew Malloy.
That's for sure, Mike. You speak of horsepower there. Look at the horsepower difference between these two cars now. Andrew Malloy only 330 brake horsepower in that E36, taking on 750 brake horsepower in Maximus's car. But Andrew leads us in here. The brother of Mr. Perfect. We're going to have to call him something now. Maybe Mr. Fluid, because his run is always so fluid right out to the edge of the track in that stunning BMW E36. Maximus doing a great job of dealing with the pace difference between these two cars. Right up onto the door from here. Very consistent battle throughout this whole run here from both drivers, and they crossed the line for the first half of that run.
Yeah, loving Pro 2 competition, Adam. I know it's quite long in terms of qualifying, and we have to get through 65 cars, and it does tend to be a difficult one to keep coming up with stuff to talk about. But once you get to the battles, you know, even in qualifying, it's interesting, to be honest. But once you get to the battles, it gets so interesting. We see Max here now. You know, I don't know anything about this guy yet, to be honest. 17 years of age, huge horsepower, and I mean, look at it. Just look at what he's doing. Crazy stuff. Malloy has been there or thereabouts for quite a long time. The Malloys, obviously, actually both of them were offered pro licenses as well, guys. So far, they have been offered pro licenses due to their championship finishes and ability, but they both declined them. They want to stay with the naturally aspirated M3 slash BMW power.
They're here to have fun.
They're here to have fun. They said if we go pro, it's a lot of extra stress on the cars with the tyre and the grip. We need more power. We're here to have fun. Let's stay in Pro 2, and look at how well they're getting on.
That's for sure. And how well is Andrew Malloy going to get on here as they come through zones 1 and 2 and into 3 here as I look out the window of the tower. Andrew Malloy doing a great job of keeping onto the door of Maximus in the lead position. Huge power difference between these two cars. Nearly double, you could say, but look at this from Andrew Malloy. Aggression from him right up there, putting the pressure on Maximus, dropping tyres in the last zone. He was focused on putting a mark on his door.
Yeah,
and maybe just throwing him off a small bit, but our judges do like aggression.
Yeah, they do like aggression. I just hope, as we can see, hopefully see two cars coming out of the tyre smoke here in Bishopscourt. I do hope that it's not enough to swing, and it might be, guys, maybe just because of that tyre job. It is Max Bagudzis that books his place in the final four. Andrew Malloy with a slight mistake, I think they are just over the line, might have been enough to swing the judge's mind in favour of Max there. But the E92 driver moving along, and definitely going to have a word with this guy later on in the beautiful, more modern BMW. But guys, round of applause for Andrew Malloy, the local man from Castlewell, and doing great things. And we'll see him out for pro action tomorrow. Whether he opts for semi-slicks or not, I don't know. He might stick with the street tyre, but he's going to probably qualify anyway, to be honest.
That's for sure, Mike. Well, look who's back down the line now. It's Mr. Perfect coming up against Mr. Aggressive, because Justin Murphy is about to chase down Peter Malloy in the lead position. Big power difference between these two cars as well. 340 brake under Peter Malloy's bonnet, while Justin Murphy has a whole 650 brake. You spoke about it earlier. Pace and power is two different things, and Malloy definitely knows how to have pace in his car, and he has it set up for the pace. Can Justin Murphy keep up with him with having all the power to do so? Looks like they're holding back quite a bit here, Mike. They're not going full aggression mode like they usually do. Justin Murphy playing it maybe a bit safe. The proximity opens up just a small bit there, going through zone 4. And Peter Malloy tries opening up the proximity on the flick now into zone 6, and Justin Murphy right there with him. Justin Murphy playing that safe. That's not what we're used to seeing from Justin Murphy. Justin Murphy is usually the kind of guy of knock knock, I'm here on your passenger door.
Well, I think Peter Perfect, I can't say that without laughing, sorry. I think Peter Perfect had, he has the pace, even though Murphy's car is really fast, but Peter also, he's braking and his transition points and everything are always so perfect that he just maintains a nice steady pace throughout the run, which is always quite fast as well. Murphy there, he has the car very much hooked up, but sometimes you see it in battles that the cars that looked super hooked up against some slower opposition earlier on, they start to make it into the final 4 or the Great 8. And yeah, you know, they start to look ornery in terms of pace. Bear in mind, guys, that the winner of this, of course, is in the final. So this is for silverware either way as we leave the line for the second half of this run.
That is for sure. Can Justin Murphy do so? He's on top of the championship. Can he be on top of the podium today and take home one of the very stylish Dugan Factory trophies? As Peter Malloy tries getting right up there on the door, making the dive, but Justin Murphy's using that power to his advantage here. Look at the smoke coming out of the back of Justin Murphy's car. Pure pro level car is what that is. But Mr. Perfect is right there with him, trying to put a mark on the door. They transition now for zone 6 and finish out the second half of this run. Did Justin Murphy look a bit shallow there in zone 5?
Well, yeah, I think honestly, if there's got to be a decision here, it might be down to zone 5 here. Well, you know what, Malloy is shy on four.
Justin was a bit sketchy, sorry to cut across you. Coming into zone 3 there, he was shallow, then got deep into the zone. Looks like he just let the car just drag and fall into it.
Judges are going to have to get very technical on this because Murphy left 5 early there as well. But Malloy, was it Murphy's entry into 3 that put Malloy off, or was Malloy just not there in the fight? We'll have to see. The judges will be looking at this very carefully because this one is quite technical, and obviously it's for a place in the final, so the judges will be watching it quite closely. But I do believe they've made a decision because they are writing stuff down. And indeed, guys, booking his place in the final, it's Peter Perfect Malloy books his place in the final, guys. The local man putting out the championship leader in the form of Justin Murphy, knocking him into the 3rd, 4th place playoff. Peter Malloy from Castlewell and just over the road having the dream weekend here, Adam.
310 brake horsepower in the difference of these two cars. There's cars that were out there today with 170 brake. That's nearly 2 of that. 2 twin cams in the difference of these two cars. Like
two twin cams,
yeah,
exactly.
You know, a quad cam, you could say.
Yeah, 2 20 valve, 2 AE111 black tops actually. Twin cams are only
just
like
to be exact
120 odd horsepower, I think, or 25. So yeah, two 20 valve black tops.
Do you know what? I think the nickname was probably, there's a lot of nicknames people to be given, and Perfect's probably a good one to be given, and it seems to be working out for him today.
Yeah, it's good, and the pilot as well is a good one on an airfield.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, an airfield
it's a good place to be christened by.
It is. Yeah, we'll come up with a few more before the weekend is out, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, it's still, you know, it's still all to play for the championship for Justin Murphy. He will pick up a lot of championship points, but you know, it's not the perfect finish. Dylan Wilson has been knocked out a round earlier, so he'll open up a little bit on him. Peter Malloy, is he or is he not doing a full championship from here on out? I'm not sure. He hasn't been. Is this his first round?
Who?
Peter's second round, first round.
Peter Perfect?
Yeah, he definitely wasn't in Watergrass Hill, I know that. Can't remember if he was in Mondelo. We'll have to look at the record books. But yeah, I mean, Peter Malloy, either way, going for honours here, and might decide to do the rest of the season based on this, of course. Building a new car there at home, over the road, and his brother is now out of competition at the hands of Max Beguzis.
That's for sure. While we have this moment, we're waiting for our second top 4 battle. If anyone has any questions on the live stream, make sure just to drop them in there. We can try and answer them to the best of our knowledge. Not that we have much of it, but sure, we can try. Like we can see a few people chatting about FD, which will be taking place tonight, which you'll see some pre-dismissers of the Irish Drift Champion or Series driving in that as well. The likes of James Dean, Conor Shanahan, Jack Shanahan.
Do you think we can find a pub and convince them to put on FD on the big screen?
Do I think we can find a pub? I know we can find a pub.
Convince them to put it on the big screen.
We don't need to convince them. We'll just tell them.
We'll just cast it.
The boys from the Drifting are here now, and we're taking over.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see about that, but we'll try it. That's for sure. Here in yeah, gotta say I love it up here in Northern Ireland as well. Great people, lovely scenery. We're on the east coast here, guys, in Down. If you want to come from the east, you're either from England, Scotland or the Isle of Man, but if you want to approach us from the west or north or south, feel free to come over and join us. We will be here tomorrow once again for pro battle action at IDS round 3 with the best in the business. Once again, Dylan Garvey, Jakob Shishak and all those guys battling it out for the championship in round 3 here. It's going to be spicy.
That's for
my
sure.
saying for the day.
Spicy.
Spicy.
Is that what you're going to say when you're ordering dinner later?
I want it spicy.
Looking at questions that have come in as well, there's only been one so far and has nothing related to do with drifting, but it's one that's quite relevant because I've been referencing this exact wind turbine for the last week, talking about going up here. Someone says, what happened to the wind turbine? It used to be by the paddock on the camera on the left. Very good question, Corey. I haven't a god's notion because I've been asking where is that as well, and I thought it was a Mandela effect of me thinking there was one there, and there wasn't. So I'm glad someone else remembers there being a wind turbine there as well. Any other questions coming in? Someone says there's enough.
Where's the wind turbine gone?
Thank you.
It's like what?
There was one there.
The wind turbine was right there in the field.
I was saying it to Tom Murphy there during. Thank you, Enda. Up on the up on the camera.
They moved it.
They moved it back.
They moved it back behind the hill. It was too close to the track. It was affecting.
I'm sure now it's too far away to be on posters for her now. Like.
Yeah, but Inya's on the camera there, but she will verify like that there was one actually like really close to the field. But
there absolutely was.
There absolutely was. Yeah, 100%. I made my way across that field last year to get to the Classic Bike Festival on the racetrack next door. But yeah, it's on next weekend now, so staying put, I suppose, tonight.
Someone says, "Prove me wrong, chat. Even flow should be an IDS judge."
Oh, even flow should be in IDS driving, in shaft. That's what needs to happen. We'll just build a cage.
That has to happen.
Yeah, I know him really, really well, and I wouldn't fancy lining up against him. He is genuinely as psychotic.
Could we actually just put him in like a pro car and just see how he does? Like, he just a car we don't care about, even though it's like really, really expensive, really high powered, really well built, and really a lot of time has been put into it. Can that just happen? It'd be hilarious to see his driving.
I've got an idea, and Kieran Hines is right alongside me here. Can we have in IDS? And we have the cars for this. Can we have a section for a couple of rounds in the year that we have the star in a reasonably priced car, where we get like a 350Z or whatever, and we put like Jack Shanahan in it for a round or James in it for a round? They're stars, yeah. Kieran is here.
They can hear you, Kieran. They can hear you.
Yeah, they're stars. So that's my idea. I want to get like a good stock 350 or a good BMW, maybe 330 or whatever, and put James in it or whatever if they're around. It's hard to get James at this stage, he's somewhere every weekend. But we'll get Connor, we'll get Jack. Get them to compete in pro in like a car that has no business to be there. And just throw them into the middle and be like, here you go, buddy, here's a few tyres, here's fuel, you don't have to do anything but drive, just show up and drive, and just put the star in a reasonably priced car, put him into the centre of pro and see how he gets on. People would watch that.
And have you gone street tyres as well?
Well, whatever, just Kieran will judge it, yeah.
Or how about we put Kieran in a car and send him down?
Kieran has never drifted, and he's never going to.
I feel like that's the best part about it,
Yeah, well, if you heard that at home, Kieran said he'd judge himself and give himself 100 points. As you can see, our open diffing area out there as well, ran by is that Dylan Wilson?
Yeah, I was just about to say. I was like, please,
Dylan Wilson is out of competition, but has now gone into the diffing area. And this guy in the yellow E92, who you would have seen all competition, he's literally
the pilot.
He's the pilot. He's literally. We have this thing in Ireland, if you're watching from abroad, called the Donegal Rally, which is like a huge. It's a car rally. Obviously, it's a fully real, rally, tarmac rally over here. But it's like a huge cultural karting where everybody converges in the north in the county of Donegal, up the north of the country in Letterkenny. But there's a huge competition there called King of the Cone, where it's all about doing donuts like tightly around cones and things. And this guy was literally the king of the cone twice. Now he's now been knocked out of competition in his 700 or whatever 650 horsepower 2J E92, and he's gone into the diffing area.
There's literally probably a 1.8 diesel.
Yeah,
one series BMW there in the same track set at the same time.
Yeah, Wilson's water jacket is currently at 125 degrees and climbing. His oil temps are there.
I could just imagine him inside the car and he's just scrolling through TikTok or something while doing these.
The Beamer has lost the tyre carcass. The Beamer, the 1 Series, has lost the carcass of its tyre. Yeah, so it's all happening here, guys. If you fancy it, come on tomorrow. The crack, as we say down south, the crack is good here.
Crack is mighty, boy.
Yeah.
Another question that came in there as well from Sergeant Ducky is, did you ever have to break up any fights between the judges?
No, the judges and the drivers, yes. Probably by myself a few times, but yeah, sometimes the judges and drivers mightn't quite see eye to eye. That's quite common. Because a call will come in or they'll feel like they were robbed. It happened myself several times, well, a couple of times. You just have to suck it up and move on. But The judges and drivers, yes. The judges together, no. But they do disagree, and we do get split decisions. And it ultimately comes down to the likes of Formula Drift or Drift Masters, where majority rules. So if you have 2 judges going for one driver and one going for the other, the driver which the 2 judges go for goes through. If you have a split that one judge goes for one driver, one judge goes for the other driver, and one calls one more time, you go one more time. But it is rare, and they are in discussion constantly about the run, and they generally do come to a consensus. So yeah, no fight, not breaking up fights at least, but disagreements, yes. Yeah. And if you've got any other questions about behind the scenes, this is fun actually, guys. If you've got any other questions while we're killing a bit of time here, keep them coming from behind the scenes. I've been in the sport like 19 years, so I've seen it all, so I can probably field anything, to be honest, about Irish drifting at least.
Yeah. Can those lawnmowers drift, says Grub on banter.
We saw one. I have a video of one being completely out of shape sideways earlier on.
Should we find out that in about an hour and 15 minutes as we go down there ourselves and try rob them?
Yeah. I'm genuinely going across there for a go in a minute.
Someone says I want to see Adam drive the forklift. Although my name's Adam Driver, I don't think I do a great job of that one now.
Steer from the rear.
I'm not qualified for a forklift yet.
Steer from the rear, yeah. Yeah, keep coming. I like the even flow idea if we could get him in, but I think competition is a little bit too... we've had him in Rose Green, of course, when we had the Irish Drift Nationals and things, or the Irish, the charity events there. He would appear in Rose Green in County Tipperary and drive shaft or drive another... He robbed James's Sierra one day. And made it out on the track. The boot door opened. That wasn't even scripted. The boot door just opened.
Oh, Jesus. Excuse my language. One of the media teams just sent me a quick video there as we can see our cars warming up. We'll get back to drifting very shortly, but a video of the wind turbine that we once knew and loved.
Oh, and the crying face. Will Ferrell crying on it, yeah.
Thing fell over.
Oh, the wind turbine. Did it fall over? Was it taken down? Yeah, the wind turbine is gone. So
yeah,
that's
gone. Good luck.
There you have it. We have video evidence.
Thank you to Aaron for sending me that.
Yeah, keep the questions coming, guys. It's a good crack the field, and we will have a little bit of downtime, I guess, before the final as well, as the cars usually get tired up and fueled up, because the battles come very close together at this stage of competition, and the cars always need tyres, so it does take 5 minutes or so between runs. And we'll have a bit of time to waffle, or else go to ads if we've no waffle to do.
We'll find plenty of waffling by. We're great at it today now, to be honest, aren't we?
The crack is good up here, yeah. I'm enjoying it.
The crack is 90, lads. The crack is 90.
I'm throwing back over a seat here. We're usually standing on commentary and my legs killing me at the end of the day, but we have chairs today.
Do you know what it is? Both of us have a chair today. We're not fighting over it.
Yes.
And it's never actually fighting. We're secretly fighting over it. We're always like, trying to push the other one out of the way.
Right, well, we have...
Drifting.
Drifting. We have a semi-final on the cards, guys. The right-hand side of the bracket, and it is Jake McElveen to lead us in against the mystery man, Max Bagutzis, who has come from nowhere and surprised us all with a place in the semi-final here. Look at this from a chase from him here, Adam.
It's for sure, Mike, but Jake McElveen giving him every opportunity. This battle is for the second spot in our final today, so look and see who do you think is going to go through. Maximus is fighting for it. The man that has appeared out of nowhere for this round is absolutely setting up against Jake McElveen. The star of the show in the last couple of rounds, really showing his talents, pushing it out to the edge of the track, painting the white lines with tyre marks, but Maximus was right there with him.
He was indeed, yeah. Really liking the driving here from Max, with Jake McElveen again doing everything right in the lead position and making it easy for the chase driver. McElveen, just such a huge fan of his ability in the lead position. It's so consistent. It's consistent to the level of James Dean, Conor Shanahan kind of stuff. It really is, and I'm not just saying that, but it really, really is. I mean, you name the most consistent drivers in the lead position in world drifting, and I think this guy is doing it, albeit on a tyre that has less grip, making it a bit easier. So put the semi-slicks on him. I think he'd do the same thing, to be honest, because a driver of that ability tends to level up pretty quickly onto the new tyre. But yeah, he's a great driver. But Max is right there with him in the E92 with all the horsepower, and yeah, it's up to McElveen here to be as good in the chase now as he was in the lead.
That's for sure. And not to forget to mention as well, Jake's only 16 years of age.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy stuff.
Typical. He reminds me of a Joey Dunlop, just understated, just gets the job done with an unbelievable talent.
That's for sure. We're going to talk about these guys here as Maximus sends it in, sending the cone absolutely flying, getting into zone one. A lot more proximity between the two cars here on this run, Mike. But maybe the line No, the line looked right there for him. Jake McElveen playing it safe for some reason, not getting right up on the door as we would expect him to be doing so. As we come here now into zone 5, the danger zone, we see a lot of mistakes happen, but they're making it work, getting through and flicks it back in for zone 6. Now we're edge of the line. 2 very good lead runs. Proximity is a bit different between the 2 battles though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mad Max here is looking very good for the win here because even though McElveen had the perfect lead, the proximity that he gave McElveen in the chase was really good, and McElveen just didn't quite seem to have the same proximity. But I'd like to have one more look at Mad Max's lead run here to see was it quite as good as McElveen's, because I know this year that the judges are putting slightly more weight on the lead run. But guys, we can announce going through to the final. It is Mad Max Baguzis booking his place in the final, and Jake McElveen bows out and will drop into the 3rd, 4th place playoff. And what a run it is from Maximus Baguzis here, the 17-year-old beating the 18-year-old in the semi-final. Again, the future of Irish drifting is great here, guys, when you see these kind of ages battling out in a Pro 2 semi-final of this level, and you'll all agree that this is pretty much pro level of battles at this stage. So yeah, great stuff here, and Max drops into the final, so that means we will have Jake McElveen versus Justin Murphy in the 3rd, 4th place playoff, and then we will have a final of Peter Malloy versus Maximus Baguzis.
That's for sure, Mike. Just doing a bit of research here because Maximus has really just sprung up out of nowhere today for me. Didn't even see him around the pits, to be honest, until he went out for his qualifying run. And seems to do, I'm looking up here on social media, seems to do quite a lot of sim drifting, so he does. So getting his practice in on the sim, and that's just a pure highlight of how the sims are a massive help to these young drivers.
Yeah.
Like you can see, as we say, the likes of Jamie Hines, the likes of Jake McElveen, Maximus now as well. A few other drivers that I'm obviously forgetting to mention, but the sim is like an absolute tool for them. We have ex-champion of the Irish Championship, Alan Hines, who is a world-renowned winner of many, many series on the simulator as well in the virtual world and so on. So it's becoming a lot bigger of a sport. It's becoming something that's more and more common for people to see. I have a simulator at home myself. We were only chatting about this last night. You play a bit yourself on the PlayStation though, with Forza and so on. And it really is a tool. People get to build up that muscle memory, you know, what happens when, you know, you're down on power, what do you do? Like, before you may think you're just put your foot down more to the floor. No, you give it a clutch kick, or, geez, I'm coming to a corner, I don't have too much angle, or, you know, I have too much speed, or losing angle. Throw on the left foot brake, you know, it especially well with setting up the car and so on. I personally wouldn't know anything about it, only for the simulator, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a great tool. It works in terms of getting the muscle memory dialed, as you said, and it's cheap. Well, it's not that cheap to buy a really good rig, I guess, but it's cheaper than buying a car initially, and instead of having to do all your learning in a real car, going through tires, fuel, and you know, mechanical failures and learning that way, it generally tends to get you up to a really good level before you bite the bullet and buy the car and get yourself you know, get yourself doing it in real life. So I couldn't recommend it enough in terms of building up your skill set before you get behind the wheel of a real car.
That's for sure, Mike. Well, we have a bit of downtime as well. Feel free to throw in any more questions. We're back looking at the chat now before we go into our final and 3rd and 4th place playoff. But before we do so, I may as well give another huge shout out to everyone that is here in attendance today for the Pro 2 Championship in Bishopscourt Diff and Drift in Northern Ireland's home of drifting, as well as to all the sponsors that make this possible. Lucky Day Competitions and Red Bull being our title sponsors for this year. As you can see the Red Bull ring up there at the start line. Lucky Day Competitions across all our merch, as well as on our social medias and so on, as well as all our other sponsors as well. Kenda Tires, Drift Mafia, Strom Wheels, GMD Tire and Service Centre, Yugen Factory, Group D, Turn Tire Distribution, Max Flow, Exemplar Airport Corsillage, I can't pronounce that word correctly either, Exact Signs and Lexi Break. Without all of you guys, them Irish businesses supporting Irish drifting, this would not be possible.
Lads saying waffle over ads. They want to hear the waffle over the ads. We do have to run the ads as well to keep the sponsors happy, guys, but thank you. Yeah, Even Flow as agreed. Umbrella Girl box in this lap, VR46. big Rossi fan myself, but I don't think that anybody wants to see, except you, wants to see even flow as a grid girl or umbrella girl. Might be one of the worst things you'd ever see in your life, but would be entertaining, I guess.
That's for sure. As I see, Tom Murphy somehow figured out how to use technology. I didn't know they had technology back in his day, but I somehow figured out how to comment in, say that he's cool himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Murphy is so cool, he said, absolutely he is. So,
It's not cool when you have to say it about yourself, you know?
Yeah,
Not
big
cool
support
when
from
you say it
Max
about
as well
yourself.
in the chat there. So he is indeed a phenomenal young driver, reflex drift. He's definitely a phenomenal young driver. Know very little about him, to be honest. So I'm going to give a run down the pits after my lawnmower race.
Running down to him. Come here to me. Who are you?
Who are you, boy? Who are you? Where'd you come from?
Where do you learn to do that?
Exactly. So yeah, going to learn a little bit about him and have a chat maybe later on after we get a go on the lawnmowers, of course, before we head back to the digs for the night.
The digs, jeez, I haven't heard that one in a while.
The digs, yeah. If you're from Cork and you're getting a haircut with a head shaver, it's a bazaar. And
Yeah.
if you're staying somewhere, it's the digs.
That seems to be like every Cork person's favourite fact about Cork, saying they're getting a bazaar
A
like.
bazaar is a haircut with a...
You think it's an
with a
inside
clippers,
joke, but everyone knows because you keep talking about it.
It's a haircut with the clippers, yeah. So again, guys, if you want to know anything about IDS or about drifting or the behind the scenes, give us a shout. Or I put up quite a lot on my Instagram. My Insta is Mikey, MIKEYFI7Z, because that's my old drift number, so Mikey Fits. And I throw up a lot on the drift weekends and behind the scenes stuff, so give us a follow if you want, and I'll keep you up to date. I do the Polish drift series as well, drifting of a Mistrzostw Polski.
That's for sure,
So
Mike.
we're
But
doing it this season, so yeah,
we'd love to see the Irish drift series come up against these Polish guys, because the talent here today is next level. It's probably, like you said it before, the Irish, especially in the Pro 2, probably one of the most competitive championship grid lines and so on. Then
yeah, within its own class, I think Pro 2 in Ireland is possibly among the top 5 championships in terms of competitiveness within its own class in the world. You know, I don't mean that you put these guys up against the Drift Masters.
oh, of course not.
But within its own class, because we have grids of 65, 70 drivers every round, and because, as you can see, the top 8, 16 of those are always like really closely matched, I think that it's extremely competitive within its own class, and it's very hard to break out of. It's very hard to qualify in even. We saw some of the top championship guys struggling to qualify today. So yeah, it's interesting. But the Polish National Series is really interesting as well. It's pretty much Drift Masters feeder, and the tyre rule over there for the Pro class is 285 semi-slick. So we have 265 here, but it's 285 over there. And to see the hookup of these yokes off the line, and each one of them then are 700 horsepower, you know, plus. At least they're up to 700 to 950 is kind of the range there. You have Peter Vientek's spotter there, Łukasz Kalashevsky driving there, and you have obviously Jakub Szkanski driving, and all those, a lot of the drift
a lot of names that I just wouldn't be able to pronounce basically.
Jakob Krul is driving there. The Drift Masters guys, a lot of them drive there as well, so it's a fantastic national series, super competitive as well. If you took the best of ours versus the best of theirs, I don't know.
I'd back the Irish in that one anyway. I'd be backing the Irish in that one.
You do have some really good drivers over there though.
We're going to go into a few more comments here now before our drivers start warming up. Sergeant Ducky throwing a bit of beef in there. I think Adam will make a gorgeous pick, girl. He'd bring real numbers to the sport. We're going to agree to disagree on that one.
Nismo Bobo has treats coming for us tomorrow. That sound, with the emoji after it has the tongue out, it sounds quite ominous. I'd like to know more.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to sleep well now tonight, wondering what is coming.
What kind of treats? What kind of treats it is? Yeah. Okay, we'll have to see about that. Maximus will win. Well, Scoojins 555. I won't go against you on that. He has to get through a very tough competition. It's Peter Perfect versus Mad Max here. Newly nicknamed both of them, but I won't go against you on that one.
I think from now on, when we've downtime, we need to start nicknaming all our drivers.
Yeah, possibly as well. And Isaac Butler, you're correct. Jack McElveen does own Mitch Larner's old car. Yeah, the V8 S13. It's not ready yet, so he's driving this stock RB powered, I believe, 180. So that is the spare car for the moment. Not bad to have two of them.
I think today's Peter's day.
Sam. Yeah, you're right. Pro 2 here is better than some national championships. You're absolutely correct. And about to prove that, now we have the third, fourth place playoff as our judges stop messing over to our left-hand side and get back into position, because we do have cars on the line, guys. And get ready for this one, because it is going to be, what is it going to be, Adam? It's going to be spicy.
It's going to be spicy, Mike. It sure is. As Justin Murphy and Jake McElveen are on the line for the third and fourth place playoff, the final spot on the podium. Which one of these two are going to take it? We're not going to tell you once we find out, though. We're going to tell you once we get down to the podium.
Yeah, and if you are here in attendance, guys, listening to us, feel free to join us for the podium in 10 minutes time or so as we get down on track. But it is McElveen to lead us in that 180SX RB powered car. Look at this stuff from Murphy. He's on the inside of the track once again, tending to do that all day here, Adam, but it's working out for him to a point with the grip that he has.
It sure does look to be working out for him, Mike. He paints the outside line with tyre marks, and Justin Murphy's trying to get right up there on the door, playing it a bit safe, maybe a bit too safe now as they come through zone 5, the danger zone, as I'm starting to call it, because it's where all the mistakes are happening. Coming on the inside line, messing up a bit of his line, Jake McElveen right out there on the edge, filling every zone.
Would it be okay to sing, you know, because we're at an airfield and because this was the Top Gun song, would it be okay to sing Kenny Loggins' Highway to the Danger Zone?
I'm not going to stop you singing, but I'm
it's
just going to warn all our viewers that maybe just press the mute button on your remote first.
It's out of my range. I think that's quite high pitched there. So
that sounds like your range, lad.
If you're not familiar with the song, guys, you can have a Google after the event there. Kenny Loggins for Top Gun 1, the song Highway to the Danger Zone. But I think that Justin Murphy is in the danger zone here because there was a lot of uncharacteristic-ish mistakes creeping in there. He is tending to take quite inside line while chasing all day. He's gotten this far by doing it because he's very fast, and I think the reason that he is taking the inside line sometimes, especially around clip 1, is that he is so fast that the grip in that car is pushing him inwards. McElveen, though, is once again so good.
Just doing
McElveen stuff, and I mean, Max beat him by sheer and utter proximity, fair enough. But McElveen's not putting himself out. He has to get beaten, and it is his chance now to claim a place on the podium here at IDS Pro 2 round 3.
That is for sure, Mike. So we come in here now with Justin Murphy leading us in. Bit of a sketchy start there, not in the ideal line between 1 and 2, but making it work to get out to 3 now. Jake McElveen taking full advantage of that error there from Murphy in the lead position to close the proximity, get right up there on his doors. They come into the danger zone now. It's zone 5 and flicking it back now for zone 6. Loads of smoke out of the rear end of Justin Murphy's car, right out to the outer edge, and they cross the line to finish out the battle.
Yeah, great run there that time now, especially McElveen towards the end of the run really found the pocket of Murphy. Murphy taking that inside line a little bit once again around zone 1. McElveen doing the correct thing and mimicking him. The judges will reward him for that. They'll penalise the lead car a little bit. McElveen almost touching the door of Murphy, backing out and then coming back into the pocket. Murphy now on the right line, pretty much around 5, transitions it back through 6. Really nice run there, but McElveen finding the door. And guys, once again, we will just let you know if we have a decision here. We won't let you know the decision. We'll hold that one back to announce it on the podium, but I feel like I know which way this one is going, but we will make it official on the podium.
That is for sure, Mike. We're going to have to wait till we're down there, and you're going to have to wait till we're down there.
We do have a decision, I'm told, as well. So, yeah, we do have a decision, guys, for the third, fourth place playoff. We do have a decision, and we are nearly ready to rock for the final now as Peter Malloy and Max Beguzis, and let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Max Beguzis, Max Beguzis? Because
You're the pronunciation guy.
I haven't looked this one up yet, but yeah, let me know if I'm anyway close on that, because we do practice it for the Polish series quite a lot, because we have 12 nations over there, but I've not run across this one yet, so I could be butchering it.
That's for sure. If you're confused why you're seeing a load of drivers and cars lining up down there, we're not just going to go straight into Pro 1 action and go into the night time here. We're actually going to lead these Pro 1 drivers get out and have an opportunity to practice.
I'd like to thank
for tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. They are about to go out and have a bit of evening fun here in Bishopscourt, and Grub and Banter has done the singing for me. He has said Highway to the Danger Zone. I won't chance that one. We might do a little bit tomorrow, but yeah, I think the high notes might catch me in that one, and it's on the internet forevermore. So
if I try to go to sleep tonight and like all I can hear upstairs in the apartment is you trying to sing that at a high pitch, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, I'll do it tonight. later.
In the pub.
Yeah, we'll record it and we'll put it on Instagram if you follow me and DM me on Instagram and ask me. It'll happen tonight, trust me. I have very little self-control of a Saturday night sometimes, so it'll probably happen. But
The monkey.
oh yeah, speak of the monkey, got that one from Guy Martin really, but I definitely have a monkey living in my head who likes to party a lot.
Yeah.
He's allowed to drive the drift car sometimes. He's not allowed to drive the motorbikes. And he's allowed to DJ sometimes, but not others. So you have to keep him in the box. But he does after a couple of pints, he does tend to get loud.
Someone there is asking for the name of our drone pilot as well. Colin sure is the name of him, as I'm just trying to find his Instagram here
a
to give him
racing
a
drone
shout out.
pilot actually, telling us all about it last night in the digs, in the B&B.
He sure was a very talented drone pilot at that as well.
Yeah, really good.
Find his Instagram here for you.
And actually, on that note, if you want to see a cool drone shot, it's on the repost, I think, on my Instagram, but you can check it on the DMP, the drifting of Bishopscourt Instagram. They fly the drone down a skyscraper in Katowice, where we had the event a couple of weeks ago. They just
Colin said he's going to do it if the big wind turbine is there. But
the wind turbine is gone. I think the pull off the wind turbine might be not great for the drones, but they do tend to actually self-correct a bit. So now imagine if the end of the blade of the wind turbine hit the drone, it had sent it up into Antrim and it had sent it to Belfast from here.
Oh yeah, I have his Instagram here. It's Core IRE.
That's right, it is.
Core IRE FPV. So if you're looking to see some of his drone stuff, Core IRE. Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. FPV, all one word. COREIREP FPV. Sorry.
Yeah, a great pilot, just like Dylan Wilson. But yeah, genuinely a great pilot. But check out that shot, guys, on the DMP Instagram, the drifting of DRIFTINGOWE Mistrzostwa Polski. He flies it down the front of a skyscraper, quite like the shots you see from Long Beach in FD, down the front of the skyscraper and manages to get it right onto the back bumper of the car all in the one shot. It's just crazy talented, Colin and all his, the competition guys have flying the drones. They fly them with goggles as well, of course. They're looking, first person in these things.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. I could not do it. The motion sickness was absolutely killing me. And speaking of motion sickness, these two boys are very capable of motion sickness now as they grid up on the line, and the pace that they're going to be going could cause any amount of sickness and aggression they're going to do, because they want to take the top spot of the podium and take home one of the very stylish and unique trophies designed by our sponsor Eugen Factory. Here we go. It's our final of the 2026 round 3. It is Peter Perfect Malloy in the lead position, chased down by Maximus Bagusis.
Yeah, Mad Max is turning the screw here, as he has been doing all through the top 32. Look at this from Peter Malloy, though. Perfect outside line, opening the door for Mad Max. Look at this from the E92, though, the newer generation BMWs, all over the E46 of Peter Malloy. Look at this from Peter Malloy, though. Perfect lead run as he puts foot to floor with the M3 Power. Chased down by Mad Max across the line. What a run worthy of a final, Adam.
Peter Malloy is literally copy and paste all day. We can watch the replay here on the live stream. He's copy and pasted every single run he's done. He's right there on the hour edge with a very consistent pace, decelling where he needs to decel and getting right back on throttle then as well on the second half of Zone 3. All day long he has just been putting on incredible runs. It's going to be a tough battle to separate. Is Maximus going to take it away, though, considering he has the pace and he's well capable of holding back that car as well to stay on Peter Malloy?
Well, the thing is here, okay, that was a great chase by Max, but Peter Malloy, in the eyes of the judges, won't have really lost anything to him there because the lead was so perfect. So at absolute complete and utter best here for a perfect chase, Max is going to be 5.5, 4.5 up here. It's going to be super close because the lead was so good. Guys, we're ready to rock. It is the last run of the day here at IDS Round 3 Pro2.
It sure is, and look at this as Peter Perfect Malloy is managing to keep up with the pace of Mad Max in the lead position right out there to the edge of the track. So our lead driver puts a paint the white line with tyre marks, and Peter Malloy is right there on him, making the dive here now on Zone 5. It's the danger zone as they transition here for Zone 6. Peter Malloy, proximity opening up just a small bit there, and they cross the line for our final run of the day. Absolutely incredible stuff, well worthy of a final.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Max had a really great lead when I thought he was gone off here at 3, but he just about managed to put the foot to the floor and push the E92 back on the track with sheer and utter grip from the rear tyres. Now Malloy not quite having the proximity that Max did to him. Was Max's lead run quite as good? Probably. Not far off. So I think this might be a proximity win here, but I don't know. We do have a decision. I'm told by the judges, guys, we do have a decision. There won't be one more time. So that concludes us here for competition, guys, at IDS Round 3 Pro 2 2026 up here in Bishopscourt, Diff and Drift. The home of Northern Ireland's drifting and the home for IDS this weekend. We will be down on the podium in about 5 to 10 minutes time, Adam. We're going to get the podium set up, get the trophies out. Of course, we will have the junior and the rookie podium as well, which are contained within their own championship based on just their qualifying results. And it is going to be a very, very good podium because it's been a great day's drifting. There's always such a great vibe, guys. So if you're here in attendance, guys, feel free to make your way onto the track. Join us for that. If you're watching at home, give us, I would say, just about less than 10 minutes to get set up. We're going to make our way down, and Adam, you're going to do the podium, and you're going to be announcing 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st for Pro 2 competition.
That's for sure, Mike, as well. If you really enjoyed seeing all the drivers from our Grade 8 onwards, you'll be able to see them tomorrow joining in with the pros as they take on and put on the semi-slicks with their tyres. So once again, thank you very much to every single person here in attendance, and very much thank you to everyone that is tuning in online on our YouTube at the Irish Drift Series and watching the action live unfold right in front of you on their telly or on their phone. So thank you once again, and thank you very much to all our sponsors. We're going to get ready.
We're going to get
to
ready.
the podium.
Don't leave us yet, guys, because we will have the podium coming up. And if you enjoyed what you saw today, be sure to join us for Pro competition, where everything, once again, guys, is genuinely turned up a couple of notches from this. The grip goes up, the power goes up, the driver experience goes up, and we'll see these top 8 guys as well, remember, battling it out with the pro guys tomorrow. So the guys that you saw coming up from today, maybe you saw a driver that you really like the style of, they'll be back in action tomorrow. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they get on. And should they opt for the semi-slick tyres? Will they stay on their road tyres? What will happen? Who knows? It's going to be a great day. So join us, I think, at about 11:15 tomorrow morning in Irish time. And yeah, stay with us for a couple of minutes. We're going to go down on track, probably fall over the tyre wall on the way there.
More likely, yeah.
Because we usually do. And yeah, we'll be with you in a few minutes down with the podium, guys. So from up here, from myself, Mike Fitz, and from Adam Driver, over and out. And we will see you back down on track in a few minutes' time. Thank you.
aller viktigste med drifting, det er dekka. Det er eneste vi har som binder bilen til asfalten. Og akkurat som i all annen racing, så er dekka det som avgjør en seier eller en fiasko. Så da vi gikk til Kenda i år, så var det etter flere år med undersøkelser, med tester, med en vurdering av ikke bare hvor Kenda var da, men hvor de er på vei. Det har spilt seg ut ganske bra, kan du si, hittil i sesongen.
Check this out.
Okay.
I look good.
Okay. On the street and I got my swag on. Okay. Get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay. Triple back.
King of legacy, too ruthless, too transcend.
Diving to me it's like a sense of freedom. Nobody forces me, nobody pushing me. I choose to do it.
My grandfather would refer to it as like the last place that God made, as far west as you can go in the country. The last sunset in Europe in the millennium was over Jersey Island, you know. What better view can you ask for?
Somewhat. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all calling out today. We have it in the corner for you all to hear me, but we had an incredible day of drifting. So hello. Right, so we have it working now. Few technical issues, but we had an incredible day of drifting. Lots and lots of talent out there on track all day. Incredible driving, some few, and we have for today. We have the results of today's story. Huge thank you here today.
possible. But we're going to kick things off and announce our juniors podium of today. We'll be kicking things off with our 2 junior drivers, our first and second place. So in second place, give a huge round of applause. It's Jack Irwin. Outstanding driving from a young driver, showing his a name we'll be seeing lots more of as time comes up. And in first place, taking the top spot on the junior podium for today is then our top qualifier of the is I'm gonna have to hide in the corner for this one. Test. A huge round of applause. Drivers driving outstanding all weekend or all today. So once again, Jack Mulville taking the top spot and Jack Irwin second place in our juniors. We're going to now move on to our rookies who are fighting for points in their own championship with their qualifying scores. So we're going to kick things off in third place today. The man making his way all the way from County Kerry in his BMW E46. It's David Richards. Outstanding stuff, getting his car dialed in and making it work for himself in battle action and everything so on. So we're going to move on to second place. Second place on the podium in the rookies for today, it is Ross Partisan. A huge round of applause. And last but not least, taking the top spot on today's round 3 rookie side of the championship, it is Niall Looney. Huge round of applause for Niall Looney taking first place in the rookies of round 3 2026. Once again, huge round of applause for our rookie drivers of today's top 3 spots. And now we move on to the overall podium of today. We saw some incredible driving all the way from the 32 battles all the way through to top 16 and grade 8. And once we got down to our final 4, things really heated up. In the 3rd and 4th place playoff, we saw Jake McElveen and Justin Murphy go head-to-head on a really tight, close battle. But after a tough decision for the judges, a decision was made. And in 4th place, it is no other than our championship leader at the present moment. It's Justin Murphy. And after a very tight battle, taking the 3rd spot on the podium of today, it is the young gun. It is Jake McElveen. Give him a round of applause.
And we moved on to our final of today. Two drivers that were going absolutely outstanding. One gaining a nickname in the midst of it all, Mr. Peter Perfect Malloy, which I hope that name sticks as well, christened by Mike Fitz. Coming up against the man that came out of nowhere is Maximus Bagusis. Definitely pronouncing that wrong, but driving incredible all day, looking outstanding, doing a bit of research on him, driving in the Drift League over in the UK. So he has the experience and he's really shown that through. But taking the second spot on today's podium is Peter Perfect Malloy taking the second spot on today's podium. Gaining those championship points, and we'll be seeing a lot more of Peter as the season goes on. Which means no other than man that we didn't even really understand and know today, taking the top spot on podium. It is Maximus Bagusis. Give him a huge round of applause, coming over from the UK, competing here today and doing some incredible driving. Give a huge round of applause for our top 4 drivers overall today, and thank you very much to every single one of you calling out, watching, supporting Irish Drifting, the Pro 2 Championship. We're back again with the Pro 1s tomorrow. If you're not here live in person, make sure to tune in on our YouTube at the Irish Drift Series. Until then, from myself, Adam Driver, and Mike Fitz, we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Ooh.